we're back for the last week of Shitbird Month.
Fucking finally.
This week, we get a little racist.
We don't.
We don't.
We don't.
Disney does.
Disney in America did.
Zippity doo-dah. I'm Derek.
I'm Whitney.
I'm Brer Jack.
And I'm Vern.
This is bad movies.
Worst people.
Not in this case.
We aren't the worst people.
No, not by far.
We are not worse than a lot of people involved in this.
I am an uncomfortable.
I'm not an excite.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. How many of you people should not say that? How many of you three men that are sitting across from me have seen this when you were a child?
First time.
Well, what
Me.
is this?
Oh yeah, this is the Song of the South.
Just Song of the South.
Okay, so Vern, you
Yes.
saw this as a child.
Yes.
I saw this as a child.
Mhm.
I don't think I ever saw this. I definitely saw some of the animated stuff.
So husband definitely
This is a
didn't.
definite first time. My
First.
biggest media of this is the fucking ride Splash Mountain.
Which is a lot of people. That's all anyone knows
Yeah.
about it. Kids go there and they never had any reference.
So one
for it.
between Vern and Derek, I want to hear more details about like when it came out and why it went away.
All right.
Mhm.
So this episode's going to be a little different than our normal thing. We'll talk about the movie. I took some notes, but we'll talk more about what's going on and make jokes about that.
Please.
Yeah.
Because we're bad.
Well,
but
we
they're
can't
worse.
I can't do an impersonation of any of these people here.
No,
that
we can't.
Without
No,
feeling like a
I
fucking
mean-
piece of shit.
Brer Fox kind of sounds like
Eddie Murphy?
Cleavon Little's best friend. No, Brer Fox. No, yeah, that's
Yeah.
Eddie
Shrek.
Murphy. Brer
I
Rabbit
had sex with a dragon.
like Cleavon Little's best friend
Yes.
from Blazing Saddles,
Uh-huh.
and Brer Bear just sounds dumb.
Yeah.
'Cause
And
he's
with
big.
red eyes, so he's stoned.
Or drunk.
Or drunk as shit. He's blitzed out of his fucking
He
mind.
keeps smoking shit.
He has
so.
been walking
mean-
that Vegas strip, getting shots everywhere he goes. He's just trying to find Fat Burger.
Well, they're near the ATL, so he's probably just getting crunk, you know.
Oh, definitely getting crunk.
Yeah.
Looking for some of that hot chicken.
He was just walking back from it. He was just walking back from Atlanta. He's been out crumping all night, dude.
ATL's full trim.
Yeah, so this movie came out in 1946. It was directed by two people. One did the photo play with the people, and one person did the cartoons. Harvey, I think it's just Harv. Harv Foster did the photo play. This was his first directorial debut, so it was just his directorial debut, not his first one. He did a bunch of TV, but not really much else. The only thing I recognized was The Adventures of Rin Tin Tin.
Oh.
Mm.
And Wilfred Jackson did the cartoon parts.
Not
He
diabetes.
is a bigger deal. He kind of invented syncing up music to cartoons.
Yeah.
Like, he was the person behind getting Steamboat Willie going with the music and all that.
Oh, okay. Oh, shit, I didn't think about that because before that, it was like literally talkies where somebody's playing a piano live in the room you're in.
Yeah,
Exactly,
yeah,
yeah.
I
exactly.
didn't even think about that.
But
But somebody had to invent sound in a fucking movie.
Yeah, 1928, The Jazz Singer.
Wow.
But
Love
he
that.
he did a bunch of Disney movies that people know. Like, he directed or partially directed Snow White, Pinocchio, Fantasia, Cinderella, Alice in Wonderland, Peter Pan, Lady and the Tramp. So
So all
Fantasia,
of those
damn.
classic clamshell Disney movies,
Yes.
every one of those was on my fucking bookshelf.
My dog
Nice.
ate my Little Mermaid one.
Oh, I
the
didn't
one
see
with
that
the
movie.
Penises on the cover.
My
My
dog ate
Sharpay
my
ate
penis.
My dog ate my penises.
This is the
I don't
same.
think Disney's putting that out.
This is the same dog that ate my underwear
Well, yeah,
Oh.
that's what dogs
and
do.
my homework.
Oh,
Oh,
how convenient.
Literally, I handed in this chewed up piece of homework.
That's
I handed in this
awesome.
chewed up piece of underwear. I was like,
No, for
well,
real.
My dog ate my homework and my undies.
I was home working on myself.
I was in third grade, please, sir.
Well, you could have left that out and gone with a joke, but now you got to make us feel bad.
Oh,
Oh, no, we feel worse.
But and then for anybody who's listening who's a nerd like me, the cinematographer on this is a guy named Greg Tolan.
There.
I only wrote it down because I saw it at the beginning. I didn't see it while I was doing research, but he was the cinematographer on Citizen Kane
Oh, wow.
and Grapes of Wrath. This was his first color film.
I was just making fun of you for having Citizen Kane on your table.
Is it okay to call it colored film, or should we call African American film nowadays?
Wow.
This was his first Technicolor
We
film.
love you.
This was his first Technicolor film. We'll just. It's based on some books written by a guy named Joel Chandler Harris. Jack, you'll be interested to know.
I hope so.
He was an Irish immigrant.
Did he help write Renegade?
Is he the favorite?
No, but he has lots of red hair.
Oh, is that right?
And he lived his entire life with people making fun of him because he had red hair.
Oh, why you put that on me like that?
I
don't know what that's like.
Because you're a ginge.
I've never been made fun of for that.
Things
I
are
have.
different now.
Never.
No, it sucked growing up redhead until you hit a certain age, and then chicks, when girls
really
become
dig
women, they're like, dude, I love that red hair. Girls don't like red hair. Women love red hair.
There
Well,
you go.
it's not just the color of it. Red hair is I've never seen on.
It's like a Brillo pad.
It's beautiful.
It's like horsehair.
It's gorgeous. You want to touch it.
Please don't touch me, guys.
I'm not touching.
I'm not saying you. I'm people listening. Don't take that as an invitation. Like,
Oh,
don't
no.
go around touching gingers now.
Don't go around
I heard
touching
you guys
anybody.
have great hair. Oh, that is nice.
No, don't touch anybody's bodies
Let's
without
consent first, people.
Without consent, because I'm gonna touch some bodies.
But this guy, so basically growing up, he lived with, like, at one point in time, he was an apprentice on a plantation, but they did like printing there. So he was working for newspapers, doing newspaper stuff. He hung out with the slaves that were there because this was before the Civil War. And they told him a bunch of stories. And that's where he got these stories from.
Okay.
And this takes place after the Civil War, but he was a big supporter of like during Reconstruction of racial reconciliation.
Yeah.
They called it. So like he was a supporter of like, hey, these are people too, guys.
Yep.
I mean, I don't know to what extent,
But
because
that's
he was
better-
from
that-
the
but
South,
that's better.
but it's better than nothing. Yeah.
Well, it's better than a lot of other. There was another school of thought where people were just like, well, no, let's give black people their freedom just really far away from us.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Like build their own town, get out of the South. It's like that doesn't make sense.
Once he started doing newspaper publishing and whatnot, he wrote a bunch of opinion columns, which is where the dad in this comes from, I think. A lot of stuff about racial reconciliation, etc.
That makes
And
sense.
people in the South not so happy about it because it was the South.
Yep.
Because it is the South. I'm not gonna say hasn't
It's
changed
still-
much.
Yeah.
Still pretty rough.
He did get invited to the White House to see Teddy Roosevelt after he wrote the Uncle Remus, the first book, and it came out, and it was like a big deal.
Mhm.
It was huge. Like 185,000 people had it or something like that, which
Okay.
is a lot
Wow.
for back then. That's like
That
I
many
think
people
that's
could
all the
read?
people that could read. Yeah.
Somebody bought
Sir-
2 copies.
But Roosevelt had a thing where he says, presidents come and presidents go, but Uncle Remus stays put. Georgia has done many great things for the Union, but has never done more than when she gave us Mr. Joel Chandler Harris.
Bully, that
Wow.
black man telling stories is wonderful. I'm going to go kill some Native Americans, except I don't call them that now. Actually, he was a pretty phenomenal president. I think the biggest thing I have against Teddy Roosevelt and a product of the time was he was a big game hunter. You know,
Oh yeah.
but he regretted at the end of the day he established a lot of national parks.
Well, he
Like-
established them so for the war effort that they would have resources later on. They were meant
Oh,
to be
damn.
mined when they needed to be.
True, but we still got him.
True. Fair.
I mean, I'm just saying.
There's
I'm
always a
not saying he's
catch.
perfect, but I think he's my favorite president. Trying to think of somebody better, but I can't.
Calvin Coolidge.
Oh no,
Taft?
no.
Taft.
Taft was our fattest president.
Yeah.
He got stuck in a bathtub.
I don't know.
Can't be my favorite. Can't even wash himself.
You know who else really loved this guy's writing? Mark Twain, who's notably not racist, right?
Yeah.
Oh, not
Samuel
at all.
No
You know, he's
way.
buried in Elmira, New York, where I'm from.
Is he?
Yeah.
I mean, he's got a character with the N word right in it.
I know.
That's a rough road to go down.
But the part of the reason he really liked this was because, so watching this movie, we all had a little trouble understanding what most everybody was saying. Thank God
I
there were
followed
subtitles.
just fine.
Oh, I've been to Naboo. I've hung out with Jar Jar, so I get it.
But apparently,
But yeah, Jar Jar's not a racist character.
See, Han took shots first for more on that. But apparently, the way he wrote the book was in the dialect that everybody was speaking, who told him the stories. So everybody was very like, oh wow, you're like giving us this dialect that wouldn't be written down any other way. This is so good. But at the same time, I'm like, all these people shouldn't be talking like this, right?
I feel like he's coming at it from a decent place,
Yeah.
but it doesn't translate.
Yeah.
You know, when you have people doing this accent, and at the very end, the dad does it. Did you catch
Yeah.
that?
The dad does it, and the kid does it a few times when he's
Kid
talking to
definitely
Uncle
does it.
Remus,
Uh-huh.
the white kid.
Yeah, 'cause he's inspired by him, so you know.
I mean, it's more than just like a southern drawl.
Well, he's also
It
been.
is-
He's spent like 4 months with this guy.
I don't know. It was like 2 days.
Nah.
felt like 2
Felt like a
days.
week. Like, how long was the dad gone? We already
This
That's
knew
what I'm
Oh,
saying.
sorry.
It's got to be a couple months.
I thought this movie
Yeah.
was on for 2 days. That's what I felt.
Yes, you haven't showered in 2 days
I have
or
not.
eaten.
I haven't
I'm proud-
slept. I haven't. I've been drinking.
You haven't eaten.
For
Got to
2
get your
days
calories
straight.
somewhere.
So I did mention that he would like supported reconciliation. One of the things he really wanted, or some of the stuff he really wanted, was education, suffrage, and equality for African Americans, which
Big
was
for the
obviously
Mhm.
denounced in the South. With W.E.B.
Du Bois.
saying, educating the Negro will merely increase his capacity for evil.
Oh, I know that
And-
quote.
And this guy coming back at him from his own newspaper saying, education of the Negro is not the chief solution of the problem that confronts the white people of the South, or if education of the Negro is not the chief solution of the problem that confronts white people in the South, there is no other conceivable solution, and there's nothing ahead but political chaos and demoralization.
What we don't want is black people causing trouble. Now, they are not as well-mannered as the white folks where we don't do anything wrong.
But his comeback was like, yeah, but if that's not the solution, what is? Otherwise, we're just going to be fucked.
Yeah.
And turns out everybody listened to W.E.B. Du Bois in the South.
Yeah, well, you know
And
why? He's
guess
got
what?
3
We're
fucking
fucked.
initials. For, like, you already know somebody's a bad guy when they have 2 initials instead of a first name. Like E.B. Barnum. What's Rockefeller? What's his? He's got there's a.
Oh yeah, he's got a couple.
But all the initial
Yeah.
guys, this guy fucking tripled down.
FDR evil.
FDR, evil as shit.
Mm-hmm.
Franklin Delano.
Delano.
Delano, you didn't.
Remember, I got reprimanded for that.
No, I don't remember that one.
He threw me over his lap and spanked me and everything.
Wow.
Deserve das spankings. Did I say it wrong? Give me another spankings, Papa.
But despite these good things,
He just
I'm
ignores me now.
So I'm just going on.
He just ignores me.
We're moving
A
along.
little German fella came over and offered to get
And
spanked
look
by you,
over
and you
here.
don't even want any part of it. I heard you were talking about something racist, so I thought I would come in for a little bit.
I really like this Dubois guy.
My name is Donkin the Spankin.
But
I came here to watch racist movies and get my ass spanked. I'm all out of racist movies.
Do you want some food? I got the new oven.
No, I'm not hungry for that. Let's keep this racism lighthearted.
Aw.
But yeah, despite all that, this movie and his pretty much his entire legacy has been kind of washed away by the fact that people are smarter than we were at one point.
Yeah.
Most of
I
us.
hope.
I mean, you always wonder how you would be in that situation. And of course, everybody's like, I would be a better person than all these other racists around me. But you don't know that.
I would like to
Yeah.
think that.
I would love to
Yeah.
think so. And I do think I would be that way. But if you were put in this era, this South, and with these parents and siblings and friends, you don't know.
Well, you know, we
So-
see in this movie what happens to little redhead kids.
Oh,
they
God.
start drowning puppies.
Well, that's how we're taught.
That's like
So-
modern day too. So
my mom's side of the family's from Iowa. My grandparents,
Nipple of America.
the nipple of America. My grandparents, my grandfather was born 1914, and my
Uh-huh.
grandmother's 1921.
He was born the year World War I started.
Yes,
That's crazy.
wow.
Yes.
At least he didn't have to go.
Yeah. Well,
So
I
you
don't
can
know. We saw a
imagine.
baby Navy in this movie.
So you can imagine what they were raised around. They raised my mom and my aunt and uncle that black people are just people and to not be racist to them, and like
Yeah.
they are, even though there was nobody in their town.
I
Like,
mean, 1914, that's before fucking desegregation. I mean, this
Yeah.
is still
Yeah.
a very,
Well,
very
my mom went to-
racist America.
my mom graduated high school in 68.
Yeah.
So she was born in 49.
Okay.
So my mom was raised to not be like the other white people. They're people.
Yeah.
They bleed just
And I
like
get
you
that,
do.
but I'm saying, what about 1840 though?
But
Like,
that's what,
even
like-
more ingrained.
That's why I'm saying I feel like I would be, I hope that I would be like my
all
wonderful
hope
grandmother
that, right?
was, and was like, just because you were taught this doesn't mean it's right.
Nope. But this guy did it.
I love it.
But this movie does feature the 2 first black people to get Academy Awards.
Damn.
Yep.
Could they go to the ceremony?
Absolutely not.
not. But
That's
actually, I think Hattie McDaniel wasn't she there to accept hers?
She couldn't go to the main floor. She was there in the building, but
Oh,
she
okay.
wasn't like
Good
on the.
God.
But
yeah.
Hattie McDaniel got Academy Award for supporting actress from Gone with the Wind, where she originated the trope of people calling the black woman who takes care of the kids Mammy, because that's her character, Mammy.
Mammy.
So not great, but hey, she won an award. And then James Baskett, who plays Remus in this, got an honorary Academy Award, which at first I read that and I was like, well, we know what that means. But it's
Yeah.
because it was
I
actually
think
2
we all
years
know
after
what
the
we're
movie.
talking about.
Wasn't it posthumously too?
No, it was right before he
Oh,
died.
right before,
So it
okay.
was 2 years after the movie. And I guess Walt Disney was campaigning a lot to help get him an Academy Award.
I'm not racist.
Apparently they were lifelong friends. I mean, James Baskett's life wasn't much longer after this, but they were friends for a long time.
They
Once
grew up in
met.
the same plantation.
Not lifelong like that long, but once they met, they were friends.
Yeah.
Supposedly.
I'll give this movie a credit right here on this actor with cartoons. He's doing great.
He is looking exactly where he needs
Especially
to look.
1940s. Like this is not a known thing. It's like, all right, now pretend there's a butterfly right here. Well, I don't see a butterfly right here.
Maybe that's why
No,
he
I'm gonna
looks
draw it
crazed through all this, because he's like, I'm supposed to pretend I'm seeing cartoons.
in. He's I
very
don't get it.
wide-eyed.
Am I on drugs? Did my character get drugged? No, you just see cartoons. Why? Why do I see cartoons?
He did die 4 months after he got that Academy Award.
Oh.
Yeah, well,
He
Disney
had
killed
heart
him.
failure due to complications with diabetes. And in this movie, all he's talking about is eating cornbread and sweet potatoes. So
yeah.
That'll do it.
that'll do it. And Zippity Doodah was nominated for Best Song or
Is
something.
that why they
along
had to
those
put
lines.
it into Mary Poppins?
Not had to. That's why they did.
I think because by the time Mary Poppins came out, they already knew they re-released this movie a few times in theaters because that's what Disney used to do. But
I know I saw Bambi like that too.
let's see. So it was first re-released in 1956, and then in 1970 they announced they permanently retired it because from day one this had issues, which we'll talk about in a
Yeah.
second. People were against it from day one. It's not
Oh,
like
God.
I was reading some reviews of people and they're like, "Oh, this woke culture canceled this because bop, bop, bop." From day one, people were like, "No, let's not do that."
Yeah.
Well, it fucking just depicts the slaves that are on this plantation is like happy to fucking be
Well,
there.
I'm playing devil's advocate here, but they're not technically slaves anymore. This is post Civil War.
Okay.
There
So
was
they
supposed to be
they live on the plantation.
the Hays Code people, who are the ones that used to do approved or not approved for movies before we had like MPAA ratings, told them they needed to include a date at the beginning so people knew that these weren't slaves.
Oh, okay.
And
See,
Disney
I thought
said,
this was
"Okay,
fucking,
cool," and then didn't.
I thought this
So-
was pre-Civil War.
No, it's after the Civil War. But I mean, in the South, a lot of the times what happened was those people that used to be slaves just continued doing the same thing. Now they got paid a very meager wage.
Yeah.
Instead
Yeah.
of
and they already had a place to live. And
I've heard stories of because if you are a slave, you don't get news all the time of plantation owners just keeping their slaves on and not letting them know they're freed.
yeah.
Like,
Oh, that definitely happened.
I'm
That's a
sure
nightmare.
that happened. Yeah.
That's a
And,
nightmare.
I mean, that's the problem. They were still treated like that in the movie, but they
Yeah.
were happy about it, which is weird.
It
but,
was
you know.
it was an
Yeah.
insane look for this. Like, thank God these white people gave us a reason to be here.
right.
You know,
yeah,
let's
it's
sing a
not
song
good.
about them.
Yeah. The three
Oh.
times we see the other people living there besides Uncle Remus.
What do you mean,
and,
other people?
I can't remember what Hattie McDaniel's name was. I have it in here somewhere. But besides
Tammy.
those two,
Miss Sally,
No,
No,
that was his mom.
Sally's
Temmy. I think it was
Sally.
Temmy.
Temmy.
Miss
Tunny.
Temmy.
Temmy.
Tanny?
Temmy.
Timmy.
Temmy.
Got it. This is making for a riveting podcast.
Right.
But it was re-released in 72, 73, after they said it was retired, 80, and then 86 for the 40th anniversary, and that's the last time they've ever put it out.
Which you had said while we're watching it, like, because I think your wife asked if she wasn't sure if you saw it. Right?
I know. At first, I wasn't sure,
And
but
Derek's like,
then
unless you saw it in 1986 in the theaters, you didn't.
probably
Well,
did.
But then Vern dropped a little fucking nugget of truth.
Yeah, I had seen
All
it
over your
because it
chest.
they did allow a couple like broadcasts in the 80s on television, and my parents had like a VHS recording of it.
Antenna
off TV.
TV type shit, like just like ABC. Or
I
whatever the
think it
hell
was
out
like
back then.
I think it was like cable. I think it may have been Disney Channel even.
Okay.
Yeah, something like that.
Oh,
So-
in the 90s?
the
In the
80s. The
Oh,
80s.
There
Yeah.
was no Disney Channel in the 80s?
1981, girl. Look it up.
Really?
You're
gonna-
don't argue with Vern
I
about
I
was
this.
just
won't.
gonna say
Oh,
you
dude.
are throwing smoke at a fan right now.
Did
It's
we
coming
mention
right
that
back at you?
Vern is our resident Disney expert?
I've
Yes.
seen a few all.
Not only is
He's
he
not our
God-
resident expert. He is the expert.
Not only is he the resident Godzilla '98 expert, but
Uh-huh.
also, well, kaiju in general. But I just have to mention that previous episode.
Also, we should mention he is
He's
also
the
wearing a
Disney
Godzilla
expert.
shirt right now.
Yeah.
Yes.
Nice.
Godzilla says that drugs are the real monsters. Remember that, kids.
Take them all. Eat them all.
All right, look, I'm
Just
not
kidding.
taking life advice from somebody who destroys Tokyo on every 4 fucking year basis.
Like the Olympics.
Oh man, every 4 years. Oh, Godzilla's just competing. I got a gold medal.
Shot put.
Look, they're shooting rice at me. They love me.
I don't.
They're celebrating me with these big fireworks.
They didn't test his testosterone levels. That was the problem.
Oh, yeah, I think he's doping.
Dude, I saw -1. Godzilla was doping.
Doping.
He's
Yeah.
smaller at the beginning of that.
Yeah. Daddy thick thighs though.
Could have just grown. Jeez.
No, he gets nuked.
Yeah.
He didn't dope himself.
Did you test him for radiation? I think he's doping.
But so when this movie came out, there was a review in Time magazine that praised the animated sequences as top-notch Disney and delightful, but cautioned that it was bound to land its maker in hot water because the character Uncle Remus was, quote, bound to enrage all educated Negroes and all number of damn Yankees.
Yeah. Those damn Yankees, all those Northerners that like their black people free. Fuck them.
I'm like, Time magazine, calm the fuck down.
Yeah, Time Magazine has said some things.
Mhm.
They also put Hitler on the cover.
Huh?
Yeah, they did that.
Man of the year.
Man of the year.
Uh-huh.
Great.
That aged very well, by the way.
Was it the next year that everything
someone
came
get
out?
their shorts. I'm going for a photo shoot.
Oh no.
Like I'm not sure. I'm not educated like you are on the histories.
Oh, I'm barely educated.
this
No, I don't know the exact year, but it was pre 1939.
It was pre-war.
It was
I
in
mean,
the 30s.
yeah. Especially because America had.
They're like the
fucking,
man of the year. Guess what
what's
I
his-
have?
Well,
What's
no,
his
he
goddamn
came to the
name?
United States and was celebrated. And if you actually said anything bad about it, it was like, oh, no, you're fear mongering. He's not doing all this.
Henry
And then,
Ford
whoops.
actually wrote like a whole thing about how much he agreed with Hitler,
Mhm.
and even up to the point of him blaming the Jews and the
Ugh.
immigrants. Henry Ford's like, "Fuck yeah, this guy gets it."
Wow.
At one point,
Yeah.
there was a boat full of Jewish immigrants that came to our shore to try and I think they were Polish maybe, but it was Jewish refugees, and America turned them away. They had to go somewhere else. We're like, no, we're not doing that.
Canada's
Isn't that
better.
how-
Go there.
We didn't have fucking camps for the Jewish people, just the Japanese.
Hmm.
I don't understand how America's. Never mind. I shouldn't say it.
Sorry, we're getting all racist.
Yeah.
this
There's
episode.
a lot not to understand
All of
about America.
this.
No, it's
Yeah.
fine.
Our
This
country's
is,
done bad.
I said this is going to be different. We're making jokes in between the horrible
Yes.
history of America and the world.
But
Like,
we can't
are
forget
fucking
it.
No.
immigrants.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like I don't get it.
That's why I always loved that movie. There Will Be Blood. Or no, sorry, Gangs of New York.
Gangs of New
Ah.
York.
He's
Yeah.
like, we're natives. We're the natives. Like, no, you're not.
Right.
Get your tall, long pants out of here.
Here's some stuff we can agree with because there was criticism
We'll
in the
see.
surprisingly there was criticism of this movie in the black press.
Shocker.
So in the Afro-American, Richard B. Deere was quote
Richard, be a deer.
thoroughly disgusted by the film for being quote as vicious a piece of propaganda for white supremacy as Hollywood has ever produced.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah.
Golf clap.
Golf club. Just spitting fire.
And another person said something along the lines of, it was, here we go, unadulterated hogwash symptomatic of unfortunate racial neuroses that seems to be gripping so many of our humorless brethren these days. So,
Wow.
Man, you know how I know I'm going to like your review? Hogwash is in the review. That's awesome.
and there was a congressman from Harlem who branded it an insult to American minorities and everything that America as a whole stands for. Yeah, it's just-
still are that way.
Oh, there was people doing a protest when this movie started
Mhm.
playing in 1947 outside of one of the theaters doing the Jingle Bells song, but saying Disney tells lies about the South.
Nice.
Wow.
Nice
Dig
writing, dude. As somebody who likes to parody songs, I approve.
Disney tells life about the South.
But yeah, I mean, it's all about the reinforcement of stereotypes and like they're happy being subservient.
Yeah.
And
You just got an old
changed-
black gentleman telling just spinning yarns, telling stories, dropping knowledge.
They turn all these songs that would be sung in a very, not morose, but
It's
mournful song.
It's gonna have more soul to it because it's a more pained
Yeah.
experience. This is a very Disney song
And they're like,
soundtrack. It's got that like
yeah, these songs all sound like someone singing them at church, and I don't mean a black church.
Yeah.
No, these
Oh,
are.
we said right away, like this is boring music.
Yeah.
This is white people melodies.
So you guys know they got rid of Splash Mountain.
Yep.
Yes.
Well, no, got rid of it. They're retooling
They
it.
retooled
Princess and
it
the Frog, yeah.
as long ago as 2020 is when they decided to do this.
Wow.
During the George Floyd protests and
When
whatnot.
Vern
they-
might know this, when was Splash Mountain made?
88, I want to say. Late 80s.
That
88.
it might have been 86 because that was part of the reason they did the re-release in 86. It was the 40th anniversary of the movie, and it was also to help promote Splash Mountain.
Wow, we're just
So,
making good decisions back then, huh?
I had never been to Disneyland, so my resident expert on Disneyland, what is Splash Mountain?
Splash
log
Mountain is
ride.
great. It's a log ride.
Okay.
So it
What
takes you.
is
You
their
get
equivalent-
four-seater.
What's the equivalent in Disney World?
They have Splash Mountain in Disney World.
Okay.
Yeah, they have it all
Yeah.
over.
Goes
It.
along
Tokyo
with
the
Disney.
Small
takes you-
World
thing? Think of Small World, but Breer Rabbit, Breer Fox, Breer Bear. It goes through. It takes you to the happy or laughing place, and then drops you down a big old. The big thing is the big drop at the end.
Yeah, that's when you go in the Briar Patch, but there's a lot of animatronics.
Literally,
and songs
all
from
I
the movie.
remember is going down that part.
That's
Oh.
the only part you would remember. The rest of it, it's like it lulls you into like calmness and then drops you off of a cliff.
Okay.
Kind of like this movie.
I was 15. I was 15
No, this starts
and I
with
had
the
my
cliff.
little
Yeah.
sister with me. So
Okay.
she was 5.
Yeah, it's no longer now. It's based on the Princess and the Frog, which I'm just gonna throw this out there, Disney. I get what you're doing, but you went like, "Oh, we're not making fun of black people. Look, this is the other black movie we
Yeah.
made." Like, don't point
We
out that
turned
these
her
are the
into a
two.
frog.
Don't point out these are the two black movies you
Hey,
made.
this movie has frogs.
What do they say? Knee deep.
Knee deep. Or what's the kid say? Knee deep.
Red rum.
There is a horror movie here.
There is
If
a
you
horror
just-
movie here.
Uh-huh.
If you mute it and you give me a microphone, I can do this. Derek's
We need
on
a microphone
sound
and a
design.
synthesizer.
Stay tuned for a future Patreon episode where we
I'm gonna go murder me a bunch of
commentary.
frogs.
Where is Knee Deep Brewing?
Auburn, California.
Do you think that's where they got that name?
No.
Knee deep.
Yeah, they watch this. I'm like, I'm gonna make a brewery after this movie. We can't call it the Brewery of the South. We can't call it the Song of the Beer.
Song of the Beer.
Actually, could.
Knee deep.
You can still go on regular Splash Mountain if you go to Tokyo Disneyland.
Oh, they
Yeah,
don't
they
care
still have
about
it.
Racism doesn't translate, dude.
Nope.
Disney just doesn't care. They're like, it's out of America.
It's Tokyo's problem. Pal.
There
Isn't
was
that
a thing. There was a
Jap-
thing I
Japan?
saw. So somebody didn't understand. So the rights to this or the copyrights on this lapsed in 2000 in Japan. So there's been bootleg copies available in Japan since then. There was like official releases, but there's still
So they
bootleg.
loved it.
Well, so there was this
Eh.
review I read from a guy who didn't know about the copyright thing, and he's like, well, it's released over there, which says a lot about what the Japanese think about racism and whatever. But he also had a point. Some of the songs, I guess, have alternate tracks that are sung in and subtitled in Korean, and apparently the Japanese really don't like the Koreans. So it's like, maybe it's like the black guys are singing the song in America, the Koreans
wow.
are singing the song in Japan.
Oh.
I don't know what the truth is to that. I just read that in one of these guys' reviews, and he wrote a fucking litany of things. So I believe
like
him.
a whole deposition.
Yeah.
Huh.
But so let's talk about the people in this. We did a little bit. So we have James Baskett, who played Uncle Remus. He died.
Terrific.
He did some
Played
other
him
stuff.
terrifically.
But these are all movies, like a lot of our classics that we do on here, because that's what this is under, Dirka Classic Movies.
Uh-huh.
We're not going to recognize most of these movies, so I didn't write them all down. But so that's James Baskett. Bobby Driscoll plays Johnny, the little kid. He voiced Peter Pan.
Mm-hmm.
He
Looks
was
like
in-
Peter Pan.
He
Yeah.
did.
Like his
Especially
eyebrow.
in that green outfit.
Yeah. Either that or he's fucking auditioning to be the leprechaun.
And
Warwick Davis is pissed. Like somebody just acting short. That's bullshit.
and he was in Treasure Island,
Yep.
Disney's Treasure
So
Island.
dear to my heart. Melody Time was another classic, and he was also Goofy Jr. in the early 1950s shorts, the basis for Max.
Gosh.
The last role he had, though, just because it kind of weirdly ties into all of this stuff we're talking about, the last movie role he had was in 1963 in the Sidney Poitier film Lilies of the Field
Mhm.
as young Mexican holding the door.
What?
So
This
this-
kid was.
This is the whitest kid in the world playing young Mexican holding the door in the film that Sidney Poitier was the first black man to get Best Actor
Yeah.
for.
Kind of full circle.
That
almost.
was the movie he got it for.
Wow.
Crazy.
Well, can we talk about Bobby Driscoll a little bit here because he
Go
has
for it.
like about a tragic history. So
Ooh.
Is this
after-
a little boy?
yeah, the little
Okay.
boy.
Peter
So
Pan.
Disney's first childhood star, first contracted actor, got let go because he was getting older and wasn't cute anymore. But
Aw.
you know, he fell into a lot of issues. He was in part of Andy Warhol's The Factory and got into drugs. Well, he
Good for
apparently
him.
died in an abandoned building, like on a dirty cot or something, because of complications due to his drug use. But they didn't know who he was at the time. He was unidentified. So if you're familiar with Hart Island and the infamous Popper's Field, where they buried a lot of people, like they
I've
buried,
heard. Yeah.
it's like AIDS patients got put there.
Oh, whoa.
You know, it's a lot of. There's over 1 million people buried in this island, and he got buried there, and we don't know where the records got burned in the 60s or 70s, but the only reason they know is his family went looking for him after the fact, and they matched the fingerprints up, so they know he's there,
Dang.
but they don't know where. So that's
I
how
should have put it in the headstone.
What a weird, nebulous thing. Like, he's there. We can't
exactly
get him.
I mean, it's 1 million people. How you
Just
gonna
That
go
find
to
is
him?
the island
super
and be
sad.
sad.
Still used to this day, by the way. Over 1,000 people are buried there a year.
By the way, isn't that the state motto for over in Staten Island?
Just go to the island and be sad.
Yeah. I think that's
I mean, Staten Island's not a state, but it is
Yeah.
the motto.
it's the state motto.
Staten motto.
Staten motto.
Yeah, no, I saw that
Staten
he died.
Island.
I saw that he died at 31.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
That's really sad. Do
Yeah.
you think it
At least
was?
he had a cot.
Do you?
Some people don't have anything, dude. Some people die on the pavement. Die.
Everybody hears about the tragedies that the children stars go through with
Yeah,
the
he was
pedophilia
one.
and everything, and just the harsh work, like the shit they had to go through.
Well, even what
endure.
Vern just said, you got let go for being old. Not old,
Yeah.
sorry.
I'm
Yeah.
sorry,
Older.
you went through puberty. We
Yeah.
can't have you
Yeah,
anymore.
It's exactly what
You're
it
done
was.
here.
You're not fucking a durable anymore.
You're not fucking a gerbil?
Point of order.
What did you say?
Point of order, that's
durable?
Richard
Oh,
Gere.
point of order. It's a durable. Got it. Thank
Point of
you.
order, that's Richard Gere.
Allegedly.
No, that gerbil fucked him.
Allegedly.
It is alleged, and it's also, from what I've
Very
gathered,
fake.
very fake. But it's funny.
He
That
even
was one of
jokes
those
about it now.
pre-internet ones, dude, that you couldn't. People was
Right.
like, hey, you know he puts gerbils up his ass?
How did
Like,
that get
what?
everywhere?
I don't know. It's one of those. I saw a thing recently that was like, how is it that before there was memes or the internet, we all heard about Marilyn Manson taking out a rib to suck his own dick?
Which I gotta tell you, you need to add vertebrae to your spine, not take out ribs, boy.
girl.
Saying. Yo, I am in the mood for a really juicy IPA, and I don't see any in the fridge.
Yeah, I think I'm all out, but I do know a place we can go get some more.
Let's go to the Arizona Beer House.
Arizona Beer House. They have 34 taps. There's almost 800 cans and bottles that you can drink in-house or take to go. And it's conveniently located at Broadway and Kolb, 150 South Kolb in Tucson, Arizona.
I'll tell you what, I'd tap that.
Let's head down to Arizona Beer House right now.
Let's go. I'll drive.
First pint's on me, guys.
All right.
Sharks of the corn? Virus shark? Cocaine shark? Sharktopus? Yeah, those are all real movies. Join me, Steve Coates, as each week I take a comedic look at the bizarre world of sharksploitation cinema on Bucket of Chum, the Shark Movie Podcast.
So back to the actors. This little girl, Ginny, was played by a girl named Luana Patton,
She
but
was
she wasn't
adorable.
in much that I noticed, that I knew. I don't know. She was in Melody Time, it looked like. I think all these people were pretty much in Melody Time, which is another Disney production similar to this without the racism. It was animated,
Okay.
live action,
Sing song.
dancey dance.
Yeah.
Sing song, dancey dance. Got it.
And then the mom's, Sally, was played by Ruth Warwick. who, of course, everybody here will know as
Go on.
Charles Foster Kane's first
wife
from
Yeah.
Citizen Kane.
Citizen Kane.
Yeah.
Citizen Kane.
Citizen Kane. Duh.
Yeah.
Classic.
Okay, you got it there too.
Yeah.
All right, good.
And then you might know her if you were at home in the afternoon and you had like a stay-at-home mom.
Ooh, you do like a soap opera.
Yeah. She was in 511 episodes
Days of Our Lives.
of All My Children.
All My Children.
Wow.
That's what I
Starting
said.
with episode
Episode
1.
Holy crap! Wow.
Fucking 11.
Yeah.
That's only
From-
no. That is not even 2 years.
No. Now they did 9,000 something up, but they're still doing it.
Oh, that's right, because they were dailies.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
But hold on, wait, no. Take out the weekends. So
5
that's
days a
probably
week.
3 years.
But
Damn.
she was in the first episode. She was in a lot of the first season, second season, but she continued appearing in that show until 2005.
Holy crap! Wow.
So 1970 to 2005.
She just kept coming back and said, "I'm your old lover with a brain and a new body. I don't know why I chose this one for my new body."
I scrolled through like
Oh, I
because you
broke
can
my
see the
hip.
specific episodes they were in. You broke your what now?
I broke my hip.
Oh, okay.
I
Hey.
was trying to be a hipster. Oh.
You can see the episodes they're in. So I scrolled through, and it was like the last 12 seasons or so she was in. It was like 2 episodes per season.
Okay.
So it's like she just showed up to be like, "Fuck you,
Bring
pay
your
me."
face to my hand. I'm going to slap it. But if I go back, it's going to, I'm going to dislocate my shoulder.
And your wrist and elbow.
No.
And then of course Hattie McDaniel playing
Of course.
Aunt Tempe, which I have written here, Mammy from Gone with the Wind.
Did that little? Did Toby ever turn into anybody?
I didn't. So I was doing this
He
research.
was pretty fucking charming, this little kid. Like, I
Wasn't
know
he?
I know it's like a very racist dialect that he's using and stuff, so we're not going to do that.
No.
But I will, however, replace it with Christopher Walken if it pleases the court.
It pleases the
Oh,
court.
I was going to do Christopher Walken for the Fox, but go ahead.
Oh no,
He
who-
can be Toby.
no. We'll do. Toby can be Mark Wahlberg because that
Okay.
would piss
Okay.
off Marky Mark.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well,
Hey, bro, I got this fucking frog. Heard you want to catch frogs. I brought one to you. I put in a bowl of fucking water hops. I would catch it again. Look at that.
I'm put this frog in my hat, dude.
You ever put a frog in your head and put a hat in your fucking head? Frog hat.
frog hat.
You ever listen to that fucking great band, Frog Hat? Slow ride. Take it easy. All right, take it easy, bro.
Oof. Okay.
Would it kill you to play a little Frog Hat?
So I hadn't looked him up because I did this research before watching this. I had no idea who any of these characters
Right.
were.
Uh-oh. I'm not liking where this is
No,
going.
neither am I.
He doesn't have a picture, so I didn't click him. I didn't know who Toby was. But apparently, he was in a series of what looked like stop motion cartoons, maybe, or stop motion animation things about Jasper.
Oh, no. I
Yeah.
don't like these pauses.
I'm just going to read some of the names.
Nope.
It's more
Jasper-
pregnant than the girls I went to high school
The
with.
first one here is Jasper and the Watermelons.
Oh no.
no.
It's going to get better from here. though, right?
Jasper's
Yeah.
Minstrels.
It's
Oh no.
Gotta get better from here.
I don't know. There's not the names aren't so bad on a lot of them. Jasper and the Beanstalk, my man Jasper.
All right.
I got a picture.
Oh no.
So this is what it was.
Wow.
That's a big bowl of yikes.
It looks an awful lot for the listeners at home. It looks an awful lot like
Oh my
when
God, Mr. Bill.
Dr. Seuss was drawing cartoons about black people who sold bug spray. Google it.
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember what the bug spray was called because I couldn't care. But you can Google Dr.
Yikes.
Seuss
That sucks,
racist.
dude.
It'll come right up.
Uh-huh.
No, that kid fucking he got that paycheck. Hopefully
He was
got
doing it
paycheck.
right now.
Hopefully he got fucking
Probably
paid.
wasn't very much. Let's be real.
But I did love at the very end of the movie when he trips over that log.
Yes.
And then he like looks at the
I'm good,
director
I'm
like,
good,
should
son.
I keep going?
Hey, you
And I'm
wanna
just
keep
like,
going?
keep running.
All right, zippity fucking doodah. Mr. fucking Bluebird on my shoulder.
and he's singing and smiling the whole time like we good.
But
nary a shoe on this kid.
Nope.
Nope, never seen his shoes.
And by the way, filmed outside of Phoenix.
that's what I was
Yes.
about to get to. So
Yes.
not filmed in the South. All the stuff on the plantation was filmed. They made a farm and like fields. It was actually now we would call it right in Phoenix, but at the time it was like near. They called it like Parallel 17 or some shit.
This
like,
is when they were toying with calling it Pumpkinville. It's a real
It's-
fact.
wow.
Really?
What?
Phoenix?
I didn't know
Phoenix
that.
was going to be called Pumpkinville.
Oh.
Fuck you.
So
Arizona would
fuck
be
you, buddy.
Arizona would be just even more like the South than people like to say it is.
They were just stuck on a P word.
But it was so it's just south of Buckeye. So like I looked it up online.
Okay.
I found it on Google Maps.
Oh wow.
It is a Monster energy drink warehouse.
No.
So there's
Right
still,
next to
So there's still slave labor going on.
right next to an Amazon fulfillment
You
center.
There's the slave
betcha.
labor.
I was reaching with that monster, but then Amazon is the
Oh,
monster.
yeah.
So I'm sure Jeff Bezos doesn't have a lot of say in where these fulfillment centers are going because he doesn't run the company. He's just there.
Yeah.
But they were like, well, this one would be right by where they shot Song of the South, and he was like, do it.
Done.
Done.
It'll
Sold.
tie right into the thing we're doing here.
It might be haunted, but then good. We'll put those fucking ghosts to work.
Seriously, he probably would.
If he could.
You don't have to pay ghosts. I don't know what Jeff Bezos sounds like. I imagine it's more like, you don't have to pay ghosts.
You don't have to pay
Yeah,
ghosts,
right.
fucker.
Yeah, we're going to build it right by where all those slaves were.
Back to work.
Isn't Bezos the guy that like sponsors the slap off where you have to
Whoa, what are you saying about me?
you have
I don't know. I know he
two
has a
men
dick
face each
spaceship.
other and you have to like smack each other in the face and you're just wham.
That was actually a misunderstanding. I was trying to get someone to come over and slap off my cock.
Yikes.
They
But
the
he
wrong
says that
person.
he's like
I get off by watching men slap each other.
he's
Yeah,
like
who
a
doesn't?
bald.
Everyone
fucker
has
that's
their
just like, yeah, get it.
Yeah, he looks like
He looks like
broken
a
condom
penis.
commercial.
Yeah,
He
And
does.
he has a spaceship that looks like a penis.
yeah.
And I watched it go to space, and I
And
was
die?
like, that thing is a dick flying through the space.
Are you sure that you didn't just watch Austin Powers?
You would think that that's what I was
I
doing.
mean-
Have you seen his spaceship?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
And I've seen him. He's Dr.
It
Sneevil.
flies to space, the head comes off, floats around for a couple minutes, and then slowly comes back to Earth.
He's just sitting there stroking his bald cat.
I'll get you next time, Elon. Next time.
Next time.
Tremendous.
Dr. Claw.
But then the
Somehow
other,
Bezos is still fucking voiced by Frank Welker. I don't know how.
Who else? Who else could voice
you know
it?
what? I don't,
He tried to interview like, dude, your voice is just haunting. You cannot speak. Here's what you do. Frank Welker is gonna just speak anything that you mouth. Fucking wiping his ass with diamonds.
he turned it into paper somehow. He's got the money.
No, he just has
Uh-huh.
a very. You know what? We just sit here and we talk shit with our coddled anuses, but he is just numb to it.
Look, so Frank Welker was born the year this movie came out.
Ooh.
Wow.
So I knew he wasn't in it. Wow. But while I was going through the voice credits, I was like, am I going to see Frank Welker?
What if?
Maybe.
What if?
But hey, guys, you know what? For all the negative things we've said, this was the top grossing U.S. film of 1946.
Indeed
Of
it was.
course it was.
What's its competition? Fucking
Oh.
Russian propaganda films?
Not in the U.S.
Bugs Bunny? What year did this come out? I know you said
1946.
1946, yeah.
1946. Oh, my uncle was born that
Oh,
year.
World War II. It didn't start then. You don't have a familial member just born every major war. You're not Lieutenant
well,
Dan.
my grandfather was born in 1914. My uncle was born in 1946.
We were already at war. We were wrapping it up.
Yeah,
Jenny's in this
Didn't we
movie.
already bomb the Japanese?
Yeah, that was
in
45,
1946?
so
Yeah, okay,
this was
yeah.
after all that fun.
Yeah, we're just
But it
killing.
was
My
over.
grandpa
We're
wanted
just
to
killing off
join
the fucking warlords now.
in the 40s. My grandfather wanted to go, but they wouldn't let him because he was
Because
a
he was
farmer.
just born. Oh, that was your uncle.
Because we didn't have the
They
baby
said-
navy yet.
They said he was too old and he was a farmer.
Yeah. Well, was he too old?
I don't know. He was born in 14 and it was 46 or 40, 39.
I
When did it
yeah,
start?
that-
I mean, not too old, but older.
But he was a
So-
football player.
Anyway.
So let's talk a little bit about this
Yeah,
movie.
yeah, yeah.
Sorry,
The
you can
actual
come
movie.
It's fine.
What?
Nothing.
All right.
You'll hear it in post.
Let's talk a little bit about this actual movie
Uh-huh.
and what happens. Because
little
at
girl
first
is-
I was sitting here watching this movie going, well, this is stupid. They're just running back and forth and he's telling them stories. They could have just made a series of cartoons and we could have avoided all this controversy.
Yeah.
But then it ends and I'm just like, what fucking psychedelic freak out ending is this?
Well, they
Yeah,
were
where-
trying to.
Where was the plot?
They're dead.
So this little girl
I'm
is.
sure.
They are fucking dead. Sorry.
Yes.
This, as soon as that sunset hits cartoon, that's heaven or hell.
Yes.
I don't know
Cholera
your
got
life.
them
I know
all.
it did turn
Uh-huh.
red.
Was that still a thing in 1946? Well, this is
Cholera?
1870.
So this little girl is riding in a
Bird
wagon
flu.
with her mother and father. And they're going to see
It's a little boy.
mother's mother.
It's a little boy.
It's a little girl.
It's a little.
Okay, a
boy.
little boy in little girl's
they,
clothes.
They can wear whatever they want.
You are correct. You are
It's
correct,
1870.
my friend.
Have an open mind like the rest of us.
But Yeah, they're going.
This
to
hat is the hat that Violet wears.
this little kid at one
Willy
point,
Wonka.
right here when coming up here when he's talking to his dad saying, "Don't leave." I was looking at him. I was like, "Fucking shut up, Matilda.
Yeah.
Let's get this movie going." This
Right.
kid looks like Matilda.
But this is how they dressed in 1870.
Yeah, it's awful.
He was the only one dressed like that.
because
Well,
he had
that's
enough
how you
money
dress
to-
children.
He had enough money to have those clothes. The rest of these kids have one fucking overall straps because the other one's broke.
Yeah, we have the black kids who we know don't have the money for that, and then we have the dirt
ginger
farmer
kids.
white kids.
Whoa,
Yeah.
whoa. They have a name, guys. I think it's the Favors.
Yeah,
The Favors.
Call them
Yep.
dirty.
No one
That's
did
why
them
they let
any.
him live there. It was a favor.
Yeah.
That's why they call him the Favors.
How'd you get your last name? Well, we were squatting on some land.
They imply while they're going here, though, like the kid's like, "Why isn't Grandma coming?" Even though Grandma's there, I guess other Grandma.
No, he said, "Why doesn't
Grandma
Grandma
hasn't
come
come
visit
in
us?
years.
Why do we have to visit her?"
Oh, okay. And so basically, because she's mad about what Dad writes in the newspaper.
No, she's not mad. She approves.
Dad says that.
Well,
think
I feel like
she's
this has
mad.
been a fight between the family, the
Yeah.
mom and dad. Here.
I don't think she is
The
because she
son's
even
new age, like, hey, your freed slaves that are workers should get paid more and maybe have a chance to not be here.
and maybe not live in these things that are built out of leftover driftwood that are sitting around on this plantation because
Uh-huh.
these
Yeah.
buildings do not look up to code.
They should
Don't
be
get me wrong.
condemned
Uncle,
for sure.
Uncle Remus at one point he's like, "Oh, I got a fucking corner right there I'm not using." He's bragging about having a corner in his house he's not using. When this
Wait,
kid
did
has
you
a
see
dog.
he had
No,
one? He had 2 shirts, 2 pants.
But I'm saying, like, normally, like, people are like, "Oh, I have an extra room I'm not using. You can bring that dog over." This guy's
No,
like,
it was
I-
one room.
I got a corner.
But I love it when they get there and like they assign this young child as Toby as Johnny's keeper.
Yep.
Mhm.
If
That's the
anything
way to do
happens,
it.
to, any
And
trouble,
they're the
if he gets
same
in any
age.
trouble, you get him out of trouble.
And
If
you
anything
get in
happens to
trouble.
him, we're gonna kill you.
It's just like Double Team.
Yeah.
And so his first thing is, come inside. I'm going to show you this grandfather clock. Well, you wait till it hits the top of the hour.
And they
I'm
stand there.
excited.
There's no TV. There's no fucking podcast. This clock is dropping a new episode every hour, and this kid is there to watch.
And
He
the
is
next day
happy
he
to
goes
hear
back
that.
and he's like, "Oh, it's a rerun."
I've heard this one before. Fuck.
not-
Can't you guys get a new clock?
It's not even a cuckoo clock. It's just a regular
Oh my
grandfather
God.
clock.
Can you imagine how blown his mind would be with the cuckoo? Oh, did you say cuckoo clock? Guess who's coming to visit with presents? I give you cuckoo, you give me spankings. Not you little kid, somebody older. What about your grandma? What is she doing? Oh, I hope she's not too brittle.
Hey, if
She is
Hard
not.
Rock Zombies taught us anything, Hitler likes getting spanked by a grandma.
Oh, who
So-
doesn't? My name is Adel. I hope you have a paddle.
So the dad is like, "I gotta leave," and Johnny's like, "No,
Oh,
don't leave,
wait,
don't
wait, wait.
leave."
I have
So
a
the dad
question.
starts playing with Johnny's nipples.
Yes.
Yes, he's
So-
rubbing. He's going for it.
This is. Hold on.
Go ahead, you first, because mine's gonna
Thank
be
you.
super important.
Okay. Mine is actually plot.
So is mine.
Yeah, but you're going past. So before we get there, he's talking to his wife, and she's like, "Are you sure we have to do it like this?" I feel
Doggy
like
style?
they are discussing starting a fight with each other. So Daddy leaves. I
Mhm.
think that is what is happening because when we get there, they're in the midst of a fight.
I was under the impression that Dad is writing stuff people don't like, and they're going there to basically hide out, and that's her being like, "Are you sure we need to do this?" Like, hide from
See,
these
you
people.
guys got so serious. I didn't want to say mine now. I was going to talk about like filling up somebody in the closet when you're 13. The lights are off.
Oh, we'll get there.
Can't even get to that now.
Sure, we can. So Dad is
Have you
rubbing
met
his
us?
son's nipples. Like literally, he's grabbing this kid, and like his thumbs, like his
Are on
hands are
his-
all around this kid's body, and his
Yes.
thumbs are just rubbing his nipples. It's really weird. It's
weird.
How old are they? Like 7, 8?
Probably.
The nipples, one's 7 and one's 8.
That's weird.
He had to grow the second one.
He was born with one nipple for a year. What's weird about that?
Was it inverted?
No, it was smooth.
So they go.
Just like
Johnny
that
goes
delivery.
out to run away. He's gonna run away and find his dad.
He's going to Atlanta, dude.
I mean,
he's
I'm walking.
got his little hobo sack,
Bendel.
A bindle.
his bindle,
Mhm.
but he doesn't have it on a stick. So first off, you're
Ooh,
already fucked.
you know
up.
what?
You got to carry this shit.
Point to Derek. It's a bundle
Point
until
of
you
order.
put a stick on it.
the stick changes the U to
It's
an
just
I.
a sack.
Yeah.
Okay.
Once you stick it in there, it's a
Which
bindle.
he can find sticks to ride for horses, but he can't find one for his bundle to
Well,
bring a
he-
bindle.
to be
Did
fair,
you ever do shit like that growing
fair.
up? Like,
Nah.
did you have no?
No,
Yes.
because I had the real stuff to play with. I had
You
the little.
spoiled little bitch.
I had the
Oh,
real
little
horse.
rich
that
boy over here.
Right?
I don't know. Did you ever go out and like find sticks that look like guns and horses and shit like
Yes,
that?
1,000%.
Yeah.
Back on the farm, I did.
Back in the farm of
spoiled.
Tucson, Arizona, I also did.
I spent my summers in Iowa.
Damn, that sounds like a rich person trying to brag. I summer in Iowa.
Was there like a giant thumb trying to rub you guys?
Whoa.
You know, because it was the nipple of America.
It was
Bringing
Uncle-
it back.
It was Uncle Sam. I'm gonna find me that nipple, I'm gonna rub it.
But while Johnny's running away, he finds Uncle Remus, who he's heard so much about, because he bypasses all these black people singing white songs. He's like, well, that's boring.
Yeah,
And he goes over there and he
I heard a
hears-
lot.
this
I
little
heard
boy-
really good things about the music that comes out of this place, and so far disappointed.
Look, I came here for Ice Cube and I got Vanilla Ice.
Ooh.
Did you ask for a 13 and they drew a 31?
That's where I got the joke from. Thanks.
I had to help the people that didn't know.
But so he's listening in on the stories, and like there's some stuff that happens, but basically Uncle Remus takes him and Toby back to the house to tell them stories. This is where we all started getting horror movie vibes.
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
Because they're in
those
this
eyes.
house and it's pitch black except for the light coming from the fire. Uncle Remus has these wild drug-addled eyes.
Mhm.
The
And-
flickering light's not doing favors to
It's
his
like
face.
it's red too. It's deep red.
Yeah.
And it's all shot at like a really low angle. It makes him look real big. And he's just like, let me tell you the tale.
Are we going to talk about how they actually put him in blackface?
I don't
also?
think they did.
I don't think so either.
I think it's
Could
just
be
a
the lighting.
coloration
I
issue.
think in the dark they did.
I think it was just the lighting. I think
Really?
I think it. Yeah. I think the shadow from his hat made
I
his face
think
so
they
dark.
all had makeup, but it wasn't
Sure.
specifically to change their skin tone. They
Yeah.
it was to.
Well, they didn't know how to match his skin tone.
I don't think
Maybe.
they knew how to light
Yeah.
anybody because it's the 40s,
Yeah.
let alone an
Yeah.
African American gentleman.
Okay, we can cut that too if you want.
Oh man, this guy had crazy hair. Sorry, I was looking up pictures of him to talk about this, but so there was a movie he was in with John Carradine. So that nepotism goes a long way back.
Yeah.
Wow.
Called Revenge of the Zombies, and he looks like, I mean, his hair gives me vibes of like a
Einstein.
Morgan Freeman, but like he just doesn't have a comb.
Okay.
Hmm.
So this is what we got.
Okay. So
'Cause-
they shaved his head.
Alright.
for
He
this?
shaved his head because he wanted to look older. Because he's
Okay.
only 42 in this movie.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
Really? He
he's
really
only 42.
was 42?
Yeah.
I thought you were joking.
No.
Tales from the Hood. What's the guy that
Oh,
that runs the fucking funeral home? He's got hair kind of like that.
yeah.
Bernie Mac.
No.
In-
Also rest in pictures
Yes.
though. That's right. The shit. I'll get your shit.
It's the same guy from
Half baked.
Half Baked, right?
Ah yes, Cuban B.
Cuban B. What
Vern
part of
and I are like,
what part of Jamaica are you from? Down by the beach, boy.
If I wasn't, bro, if I wasn't Jamaican, why would I wear this hat?
He's doing a fake Jamaican accent. You can do it. It's okay.
Call me now. That's what I want to know.
Oh, Clarence Williams III. That's his name.
of course
Okay.
it is.
Oh, he's fantastic.
he's
Oh,
also
yeah.
the police.
I would have told you
a police
that. I
chief
just
or
didn't know who you were
lieutenant
talking
or
about.
something. I think in Deep Cover. Which is
Okay.
a great movie.
Is
Anyway, yeah, it is.
it? Is it?
Yeah,
It's enjoyable.
it's got
Is it
Lawrence Fishburne and Jeff Goldblum.
Well, Cherry 2000 had Lawrence Fishburne in it.
For a fucking cup of coffee.
No, this stars Lawrence Fishburne, and it is a 5-star top
Okay.
tier movie.
Also, Cherry 2000 is a banger.
But not 5 stars though.
No, but it's a banger. I'm just saying, your wife watched it wrong.
I did watch it
somehow.
wrong.
But so he's gonna tell him a horror story, but he breaks into song with Zippity Doodah.
I'll tell you a whole story. $5. She tossed me off in the alley. That's a story about a whore.
He's talking about eating cornbread and shit. So all of us were pretty sure that this cornbread has mushrooms in it.
Mhm.
1000%.
Because even when he
Mhm.
gets to Cartoon World and he's dancing around with these little creatures like fucking Cinderella, he is, or Snow White, I guess. His eyes, that's what gets me in this whole movie. His eyes are just so wide.
Oh, yeah.
It's terrifying.
Yeah, looking at those butterflies, he's like, "Hey there, Miss Millie, how are you?"
I wouldn't mind some of this cornbread. Just saying, he's not smiling.
Hey, and you know what? There's hummingbirds in this movie that make an appearance in Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
Oh yeah.
This is
Well,
true.
this is actually the prequel to Who Framed
Hi,
Roger
Eddie.
Rabbit.
Bye, Eddie.
What happens is at the very end, the tunes come out and they kill all the humans on this plantation. They don't care. They're not racist. They just hate humans. And then they start Toontown on the bodies of their fallen victims.
I would do that.
Yeah, that's how they. Tune trees only grow with human organic matter as mulch.
It's the thing no one wants to talk about.
Yeah. It's twisted, dude. Really, it is. So we go to our first cartoon,
Read
and
a
he's
Time magazine article about it.
he's talking to this little rabbit who wants to run away from the briar patch. It's Brer Rabbit. So it's BR''ER is all these characters.
So Brer Rabbit.
Which apparently is short for brother.
Okay.
It's
Mhm.
part of the southern.
Oh, like brother rabbit, brother fox,
Yeah, exactly.
brother bear.
It's the kind of the broken English.
And they do
slave
occasionally call them
dialect.
brother too. They do
Yeah.
slip that in every now and again. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I didn't catch that.
Mhm.
But so then he goes to run away, gets caught by a fox who wants to turn him into rabbit hash, and I'm like, this is a kid's movie, but this isn't even the worst of it.
I'm going to cook you and then not even clean you, just eat you raw. No, not raw. Roasted with fur on you
And tar.
and tar, feathers. Ooh, why would I add feathers?
That's later.
That's later.
It's
That
later.
is later.
This is just when he's tied up in the
Noose,
little rabbit trap,
basically.
Mhm.
and then along comes Brer Bear,
Stoned out of his
drunk
gourd.
off his fucking ass.
Mhm.
I'm gonna take his fucking head off. I'm gonna just knock his head off with a club.
With a
What
nail
are
in
you
it.
doing up there, Rabbit? I'm being a scarecrow. Wait, what? I'm being a scarecrow. I make $1 a minute. I
wanna
wanna
make $1 a minute.
I want a
need
$1 a minute.
I could drink so much for 1 minute, for $1 a minute.
And by the way, this is in like 1860s dollars, so that's a lot.
That's a dude. Yeah, I'm okay with it now.
That's like making $1,000 a minute right now, right?
Right? Like it's
Yeah,
insane.
basically, you're making half of what Jeff Bezos makes.
Jesus.
You're talking about Frank Welker money.
Yeah, you are.
But so the fox comes out in a murderous fury after sharpening his axe. This fox is fucking terrifying.
Bathtub meth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, I'm going to chop this fucking rabbit up. I can't do it as well as
I
you.
love it. Moonshining is so passe. Now it's meth and cooking rabbits. There's two things I cook. Rabbits and meth, and I'm all out of meth.
I
I've done
need
it.
the key ingredient for my meth. It's rabbit fur.
I need a lucky rabbit's foot. I'm looking for it. Oh, look, 4.
I was
right
thinking
there.
about Jesse from Breaking Bad when he was like, I put some chili powder in it.
science, bitch.
But yeah, so he tricks the bear into taking his spot. And this is what makes the bear mad at the rabbit for the rest of the movie because he tricked him. He's not actually getting paid. The moral of the story, according to Uncle Remus, is stay home.
When you're small.
Hey, bro, the moral of the story is stay home where you fucking belong with the people you belong with.
That's the more the fucking story. Don't step out of your hood. Stay in your fucking lane.
You
You
need
ever
to
heard
stay
that?
up in Quincy.
Asian people shouldn't be in Boston. I'm saying. Nobody fucking
right?
listens, bro.
That's a terrible.
Which, by the
moral.
way, he lives in a house of sticks, so it's not really safe as houses. They could break in there.
It's made of bramble. It's made of bramble.
Yes.
And this movie is posing that rabbits are immortal when they're in bramble.
Well, it's because Brer Rabbit was born in the briar patch.
The
you're
briar
adapted
patch.
to it. I was molded by the bramble. A man's life is a man's wife, Mr. Wayne.
So we cut back to the real world.
Mr. Wayne. Bruce.
Bruce
Wayne is
Bruce
Alfred
Wayne. I'm Bruce Wayne.
I'm Bane Dern. I'll break your back.
I'm fucking Batman.
You're adapted to it. I was born into it.
Bring me a bat joint. So Toby arrives now,
Toby's here.
and Johnny is hiding behind the door, and Toby's like, I can't find that little white kid. I'm pretty sure he's dead.
He's fucking
Pretty
dead.
sure I'm gonna die.
I couldn't find him, so I
Yeah,
know
he
he's fucking
was
dead.
freaking
He
out.
got eaten up. He got fucking lost. He got kidnapped. He got something.
He fell in the
mill
mill creek
pond?
or something.
Fucking frogs teamed up on him.
They had their revenge.
It was the Mill Pond. Mill Creek is a company that releases Blu-rays.
You're
Of course
welcome.
it is. Nerd.
I'll trade you.
I have nothing.
Yeah.
I think your wife wants you to come live with me so she can be single. Is what I just
Yeah,
heard.
your roommate's moving out. I'll move in. You'll never be alone.
Oh, that's sad.
No, you'll be alone a lot.
That's
No,
sad.
you will.
Okay,
I won't
good.
leave
Because
my room.
he'll be
Good.
sleeping when you're working, and then you'll be home when he's working, and then
We're gonna have a headset like fucking Xbox party chat just to talk to each other in the same house. What are you doing back there? I'm landing on Mars. Cool. Fucking cool.
for the 2 hours you'll actually be like in passing with each other.
No, there's plenty of time we're awake.
No, we
Like
don't
right
s-
now?
We don't sleep.
That's the thing. We don't sleep.
Lies.
So
So if a movie's on,
He saw you sleeping.
last time.
Yeah.
Not this time.
Not this
Not
time.
for a podcast.
no,
No,
Derek was awake for racism.
Oh,
I slept through It Came from Outer Space.
Yeah,
That
so
was
did
pretty.
she,
That was
though.
kind of racist. There
Did
was
we
no black
both?
people in that town.
No,
We fucking both were just like,
Dude, it was
Lunch
me,
margaritas.
me and the guest Zip were just sitting here watching a movie in fucking people's houses that aren't us. It's like this is. We gotta do a podcast about this.
Lunch margaritas.
lunch margarita.
I
That'll
was
do it.
nervous because I'm not the guy that takes notes. Derek does that. The note guy is sleeping. Just imagine them sign the Declaration of Independence. Can you wake up the guy that signs the minutes? This is kind of important.
Can you wake up John Hancock? He needs to make a big signature at the bottom.
Wake up Herbie Hancock.
So anyway, Uncle Remus takes Johnny home, and this is when we first see Johnny or Uncle Remus and Grandma.
Ooh, there is
Really,
some sexual
they-
tension here.
They are fucking.
What
for
is
sure.
It's a
mighty satisfactual.
Mighty
That's
satisfaction.
at the end of the movie. This is just when he's like,
I know, but I think it's their code word for like leave the window open because I'm coming down that chimney and I ain't
because he
talking
says
about
something
the
about
house.
like her being like something about like I wouldn't want you to could be too frail or something. She's like, you know, I'm not frail, and he's
Yeah.
like, oh, I know. I'm like, whoa,
You know I'm stubborn, baby. I
that's
know
what it
you're
is, stubborn. Oh, I know you are.
I know we fucked before, and you refused to change positions. I was on top for 1
I
hour.
said no pegging, and you said I'm stubborn.
Only pegging.
If you wanted my butt, it goes in yours first. What?
I like that. You know
Of
why?
course you do.
He doesn't even like butt play.
Well, it's his butt.
Now everyone knows.
So there's a whole thing where Toby comes in and brings Johnny a frog.
Yeah, we already
We
talked
talked about
the-
that a little bit.
We talked about the early
The
version of
moral,
Frog.
the
And then
moral of this, or the not the moral. The way this scene ends is Johnny's mom comes in and says, "You have to dress like Peter Pan, but with a frilly napkin around your throat."
Yep.
Mhm.
Your grandma made this lace doily, put it around your neck.
And he decides that he's gonna wear that while he goes out frog hunting with Toby.
Yep. Because
And
if
they
you
meet.
no, you're not gonna get dirty if we just take the frog back to his home because he's gonna miss his mom and his paw.
Well, that's not frog
it's not
hunting.
frog
Frog-
hunting.
I'm not gonna
fine.
get dirty taking a frog home.
But this is when they meet the Favor kids. So 2 angry gingers and a cute little blonde girl.
Just because they want to drown a puppy.
And that's the first line we hear from the Favors is,
Mhm.
"We should drown this one. It's the runt of the litter."
They were talking about Jenny.
And so now we're finally introduced to what this movie's about, because the driving force of this movie, for a good portion of it, is keeping this puppy away from murder twins.
Yes.
Mhm.
Not twins.
They're not twins.
But I like that. The murder bros.
Yeah. Super murder bros.
not-
Super murder
Super
bros.
murder
I was
bros.
like,
It's me, a redhead.
Oh, we're gonna drown it. It's a little tiny.
It's a puppy. I'm going to take it out for a little swim with a rock around its neck.
I'm gonna break its neck. I'm gonna eat it.
Oh, you went to dark.
we're gonna make a hot dog.
Oh, no.
They said it's made out of a real dog. But they're making
I'm going to
fun
make
of
it
him.
with my special puccini mushroom.
Puccini.
It's got the word
Oh.
pooch in it, you hear.
Uh-huh.
Oh, the dog left. That joke was so
She
bad.
definitely did.
Dog's like, nope.
Whoa, buddy. You talking about puccinis? God, get some better material.
But like
I'm gonna
they're
murder
they're
this.
kind of leaning into Johnny losing it and snapping here, right? Because these little kids start chanting, little girly, what is it? Little girl in a lacy collar or some shit. I don't remember.
Yeah.
That was
it's-
hours
they're,
ago.
They're doing like a chant.
And when he goes away and gets to this pond, the music is still playing like
Yeah.
the
The cadence of the song.
yeah, the theme of that, and it's just getting.
Sorry, it's a duel of fates, man. This is where he has to decide if he's going to be a Sith or a Jedi.
And then it goes.
Ignore me.
But it's getting, it's getting louder and louder and louder, and finally this kid snaps and just throws some shit, and I was like, this kid's gonna go back and he's gonna drown these brothers.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Mhm.
Like,
Oops,
these
I have to
kids,
set the whole house on fire.
they're
You've taken
getting,
my dachshund.
they're getting drowned in pig shit. Is what's gonna happen.
Oh,
you need some practical work there? Or you going to use that CGI? We don't do CGI in the 40s. And by the way, I was born in the 40s, 1840s. Big shit keeps you young, keeps you fresh. Look at it. No, not one wrinkle except my ball sack. That's pretty wrinkly there.
only when it's cold.
Oh, no, all the time. Hangs down. I can't even use a toilet anymore. Flush my nutsack. There it goes. Well, I can turn off the water again.
Sit down and take a shit. Sit down and take a shit. Got to fling it over my shoulder.
I wear it like a bandolier. You ever seen that Chewbacca character? I've seen some pig shit look like him sometimes. Pigs in hair. You'd be surprised what they eat. Hair. You can spell it either way. Hair from your head or hair from the rabbit.
Oh my God.
So Ginny shows up and gives the puppy to Johnny.
Best way to cook a rabbit, simmer it in pig shit.
Okay.
I doubt it.
I bet it's better than
Me too, but it's the only way I can cook.
bet it's better than tar.
No, I don't know if it is. I'm poor and lonely.
So Johnny isn't allowed to keep the dog. He gets Remus to keep the dog, which is important later, I guess.
Remus, he hardly knows us.
And the favor kids are harassing Remus to get the dog back. They're like, no, we need that dog. I'm like, they really need to murder.
They just want to kill the dog. Like,
Really badly. They're
it's insane.
a whole movie. They're
Like,
trying to
yeah,
do
the
it.
driving force of those characters is we need this puppy so we can drown it.
Well,
I
it's
need to drown a puppy or I'm going to drown my sister.
They
it's
would-
their little sister's dog, and they want to make her miserable, so they have to kill her
They
dog.
would hate the idea of fucking dog adoption.
Right?
Like, hey, this family wants this dog. Nope, kill it. Put it down.
No, well, we'll kill it humanely at least. Nope, drown it.
Right.
Slowly.
I want
Boil
to-
it in pig shit.
I want it to inhale water and not understand what's happening.
Oh my
You
god.
waterboard it.
Although it's funny because they never actually mention any point later on about them trying to drown it. That is the whole thing and the reason why he takes it.
Yeah.
And they don't tell anyone else about
No,
it ever.
nobody else
Yeah,
knows.
tell the adults that these kids want to drown a puppy. Now, it
Yes.
is the 1870s. They just be like, well, that's just boys
It
being
is
boys.
their puppy. They are those ginger kids. You know those gingers love drowning things.
You can't trust a ginger. It's just, it drowns puppies.
Oh, look, they're drowning each other over there. Isn't that nice?
Look, you didn't give them the dog. Now the little one's dead.
Oh, great. No, the big one would be dead. Little one's much more mean.
Yeah, he is.
The big one wouldn't even know what to do.
That face though, when he was like,
So Uncle
Glory.
Remus kicks off this story with some dumb shit. It starts out with, so once upon a time, not your time, not my time, but a time, bro.
You are on drugs, my friend. It's just fucking a time. It's not this one, not that one, another one.
but I was in it.
But yeah, you're a madman.
I was in it. I was walking down the road.
So the fox has decided we're going to catch this rabbit with a tar baby. I can't do okay.
Wow. Let me
Yep.
set out a top baby for us to catch this rabbit. Top baby, by the way, is what you call a child born with heroin in its system.
Yep.
Top babies all over Jersey.
No wonder it wouldn't talk to this rabbit.
It can't. Underdeveloped. Do you have to pee?
No.
Oh, it's poop.
Wasn't it also a derogatory term to a black child?
I believe
Was it?
so.
Oh, that's
Probably.
well. That's unfortunate for that joke. I'm glad I got it in there first. Zing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
Let's
sucks.
No, you can
Google
take mine out.
Tar baby.
No, I believe it. That I didn't even think about it, but that
Right.
makes fucking. All
I
the
remember my
sense.
grandpa telling my dad's dad telling
Yeah.
me
All
that.
right. Yep. Here's a book.
Oh no.
The tar baby on
Yep.
the soapbox.
Saint it.
Good God. Yeah. Well, my joke wasn't about that. My joke was about people with drug addiction.
Yep.
Yikes.
So we'll from now on it's TV.
Yes. So they set out this TB. Well, first there's a little bit of back and forth between the fox and the bear about like putting hair on it and putting hats on it and this
This
and
bear
that.
doesn't understand that he's enormous and just can eat this fucking fox.
Right? Just fucking.
Like one snap.
Dude, this fox is scrawny as shit. You could
Yeah.
snap that thing in half.
Uh huh.
I
It
could
would
snap
be
that thing
like
in half.
Joey Pants trying to boss around fucking Oh,
Arnold
God, what's-
Schwarzenegger.
There you go.
DeVito bossing
Listen,
around.
listen. When I tell you what to do, you fucking do it.
I'm not going to do that because you're a little man. I'm going to snap your neck.
No, I want to hit him over the head with my club again and again.
I want to take his head off.
No, we're gonna torture him. Okay, set it up. He's not gonna die that fast.
I want to take his head off like in head. Oh, that's not my movie.
You want to take his head off?
You remember,
No more drugs for that man.
you remember when I said
It's-
it take his head off last? I lied.
It's like looking in a mirror, only not.
Bunch of dudes come in a cup to make that.
He's head tired.
And there it is.
Put him to sleep. It's head time.
I've been head tired.
Yeah, I have
Where you
too.
can't hold your head up and you're just like,
That's not what I meant.
No, it's after
Oh.
a blowy. He gets the winkies,
yeah, I get it.
or you're just tired of giving head. Go on. It's been 2 hours.
Depends on the week.
This isn't the all-you-can-eat buffet I signed up for.
Yeah, it is.
But
Don't
so-
lie.
So they
It's a kids' movie.
they
Clean it
set
up.
they set the little
Never.
TB out on this log, and the rabbit comes hopping by and says, "How do you do?" It doesn't respond.
That fella
So-
didn't say nothing to me.
He hops backward, and then hops across. How do you do? All right, if you don't fucking answer me, I'm gonna punch you. 1, 2, gloop.
2.5.
Yeah, he does get a 2.5 in there. But I was sitting there like, well, he's distracted. Just eat the fucking rabbit. But no, they're waiting for him to punch the tar baby.
I know you're not a Bond fan, but this is a Bond villain move. Dude. Like, shoot him in the head. No, that's not
You
enough.
think they ever caught Sean Connery with a TB?
Tuberculosis?
I mean, I don't know. He'd sleep with anything, so let's just say.
No, with
Whether it likes
Rest
you
in
or not.
pictures.
with a TB, not the TB. That's okay. He's
I
a
don't-
piece of shit. We
Yeah,
can make
I
fun
don't
of
care
him.
if he rests in pictures.
Oh.
He thought beating your wife was fine because she was your property.
Oh, I didn't know
And he
that.
said when you punch a woman, when you hit a woman, you should come at her with the same ferocity you would a man.
Damn.
Because he wasn't sexist. He thinks if you're going to punch, you should punch like a man. Just awful. But yeah.
But so the rabbit gets stuck in the baby. No way I say this. It
It's a
sounds
fucking child's movie.
every way I say this, it sounds worse.
In the blob of tar
Yeah.
Thank you. That looks somewhat like a small person.
that looks like a bear. It looks like Paddington Bear
It
with a
does,
yellow
yeah.
jacket.
Yeah. It's got the hat
It's a
and
little
everything.
goopy Paddington.
There you go.
No, don't like that.
So, in the middle of this story, there's a lesson already because Uncle Remus says this teaches you what happens when you get mixed up with something you have no business getting mixed up with.
Don't
Which-
talk to
It's
strangers.
moral.
I feel like it goes right back to that first one. You know,
Keep
don't
your head
talk to
down.
people you shouldn't be talking to. Don't
Yeah.
go places you shouldn't be going.
Yep. Keep
Don't
it
leave
away.
your house.
This is his not so subtle way of telling this kid, leave me alone.
These aren't your people. And I'm not either.
Stop coming here to laugh at me while I tell you classic stories.
Yeah.
I know, but I find it very sad because these are the stories he tells.
I find it kind of funny.
I find it kind of sad. These are the stories he tells his children and his children's children. Like, don't fuck with white people. Stay in your home. Don't leave these areas. Worse things will happen to you.
Stay in the briar patch.
Mhm.
Like, it's so heartbreaking.
Yeah, the morals are not good.
Well,
They're
No,
not.
don't think about
Well,
it.
and then the one too about the first one about not leaving your home
Yeah.
sounds like a thing. It's like, sure, things might be better out there because slavery is over and you can go somewhere else, but you know it's fine here.
I think it's like saying stay in a black neighborhood.
If
Like,
you go out in the world, bad things will happen. So
Yeah.
just stay here and work
Yeah.
for nothing.
this has been my philosophy forever.
Look, I'm a solid 42.
If you go out in the world, bad things will happen.
I don't. It just breaks my heart.
So the fox, the bear wants to knock his head off. I'm going to knock his head off.
I'm going to get clean off in one hit.
And the fox decides the fox doesn't want that to happen. He wants to eat this rabbit, even though he kind of goes back
Just
on his
eat the
own
fucking
plan.
fox.
Well, that's the original story, that the fox eats the Brer Rabbit, and then Brer Fox gets eaten right afterwards.
Good.
Yeah.
Oh.
The original story is a little darker.
Well,
And
so
then a
are all
person
children's
kills the
stories.
bear and eats it, and it's like the first turducken.
Isn't
It
Disney
is.
like infamous for taking pretty dark stories and kind of like Peter Pan?
Oh yeah,
Peter Pan's way darker.
Snow White.
The
What's
Little
What's
Mermaid?
dark about Snow White? I
Well-
just don't know that original story.
Well, yeah. I mean, I guess it's a lot of what they do, but just the fact that he was,
A
he was supposed to be
necrophiliac?
cutting her heart out, and
Uh-huh.
she actually does like technically die. But
Oh, wow.
yeah,
Yeah, they took fairy tales and made them family friendly.
What was the
because
Little
fairy
Mermaid
tales are
one?
fucked up.
Oh, Pinocchio.
Oh.
Pinocchio kills Jiminy Cricket.
Yeah.
Ah,
Yeah, he
bummer.
straight up kills him in the original.
Hey, you know, I'm with them on that one. Kill your conscience.
No, you drown yours out with alcohol.
No, say the mermaid one.
Give a little whistle.
Whitney wants me to talk about the Little Mermaid. I can't think of the guy's name right now who wrote it.
Christensen?
Hayden Christensen? Nope. Hans Christian Andersen.
I hate water. It gets everywhere.
Hans Christian Andersen wrote The Little Mermaid, and it was actually a story about, like, he's gay. It was a story about gay love.
It was a twisted love letter.
And also The Little Mermaid was a creature with, like, scales and green skin. But, you know, that doesn't
not
make...
the sexy mermaid.
No.
No, not that sexy child mermaid.
And the mermaid
I'm gonna
actually
point that
is
out. You said it.
murdered.
Stupid sexy baby.
The mermaid is murdered, and they're supposed to go off and be happy and together.
She turned into foam or something like that.
Yeah.
By the way, when I was talking about her being sexy, I was like fucking 7 years old.
Yes, it was very age appropriate.
Yeah, Wonder was
But
a
Whatever you like,
seashell.
I'm
Jack.
16, Dad.
apparently half fish.
And she's ginger, so that fits.
That's how you know she's crazy. she can't help but drown puppies. She lives under the water, dude.
She just lays there in bed like a dead fish, though.
I mean, everything for children.
Take her out of the
Dude,
water, dude. Natural squirm.
Damn. Everything for children was very morbid. You have Ring Around the Rosie, Pocket Full of Posy, Ashes,
Well, that's
Ashes,
just
We All
about
Fall
not
Down.
smelling dead bodies.
That's fine.
And then
Life advice, really.
Rockabye Baby, In the Treetop, When the Wind Blows, the Cradle Will
Wait, you never
Fall.
put a baby in a tree?
Let's
Why?
not
Like-
start judging jungle tribes that have to have their babies in
Just
trees.
saying, why is everything...
You have to put the baby up in the tree so the bears don't get it. Like when you go camping,
Right.
you have to put your
I'm
cooler.
Right.
up there.
see that baby up there in the tree. I'm going to get it.
I'm going to eat that baby, but it's in a tree and I can't climb.
I can barely stand it.
Even the song You Are My Sunshine, it is a very depressing song. Like-
What's depressing about that one?
So the second verse, you left me and now I'm here to die without, like, it's fucked.
That's why we don't sing the second verse in America. It's outlawed.
But so the rabbit,
But
I want
so-
to hang him. I want to skin him. I can't do it.
I want to. Are you trying to walk in?
Yeah. It's the fox doing the rabbit.
Oh, I'm
Whoa.
going to hang him, skin him, roast him even.
Yeah. All those things. And that's when
I wore this
Brer
uncomfortable
Bear's
hunk
like,
of rabbit up my ass for 8 years as a form of torture.
and Brer
And I'll
Bear's,
be damned if some stupid bear is going to get his hands on your father's birthright. Go on. I had to continue.
so Brer Bear is like, I just want to knock his head off. I don't know what all these things are.
No,
So-
not yet.
Very single-minded the whole time.
The whole time.
But he's not wrong. Like, if your goal is to kill this rabbit,
Just
I mean,
kill
that'll
it.
do it.
fucking do it.
That'll do it.
But
We don't
Brer-
need
Brer
Wile E.
Rabbit-
Coyote-style antics.
Brer Rabbit is a trickster. And so he's like, yeah, you know what? I'd really hate if you skin me.
Yeah.
But I would also really hate if you threw me in that briar patch over there.
No, he's like, because it starts with like, yeah, roast me. That's fine. Roast me. That's fine. But do not throw me in the pit.
Oh, that's what it is.
Please
Yeah.
And
don't
he's
throw
like,
me in
well,
the
maybe
pit."
I'll skin him. Yeah, you can skin me. You can definitely skin me. Just don't throw me in the briar patch. And he
What
says,
if I
Mhm.
make a
it's
stew
like,
with him?
Yeah.
in
No,
the-
that's fine. Stew sounds good. Just don't throw me in the fucking briar patch.
Oh,
Mhm.
that briar patch
So
right there.
Reverse
that stupid
psychology.
ass fox throws him in the briar patch, and he has a whole fake death scene. And he's acting things out for nobody but himself.
Uh-huh.
He's like grabbing a flower and putting it on his chest like a old
That was for
cartoon.
you.
They couldn't see it.
That was for you.
But then he pops up out of it and he says, "I was born in the briar patch, molded by it." Hence
Oh,
what we
no,
were
I
doing
believe we
earlier.
recasted me in that one. Did you not get the letter? Bruce Dern is Bane.
I was born in the briar patch.
I was molded by it.
molded by it.
Smoking joints in it. Just me and the briar.
You merely adapted to the briar.
I couldn't be higher if I'm not in the briar. Where's my Nazi stuff?
Wow.
Not the actor, just the character of Wild Angels.
Oh, so he escapes. Now we go back to the real world. Hard quotes.
Not if I can help it.
And it's the little favor kids telling him, Johnny, like, hey, we're gonna go fucking tattle on you because that's all we got. And he's like, and he learned from the story, which was pretty good because these kids are just as dumb as this fox and this
Well,
rabbit.
this is when I realized that he is Brer Rabbit and they are the Brer
Exactly.
Mhm.
Fox.
The
And
tall one's the
yeah.
bear
Exactly.
because he's the one that's like, yeah. They're like, we're gonna tell Hattie McDaniel, we're going to tell your mom, we're going to tell your grandma. And he's like, dude, tell all of them. That's great. But you know what? The one thing you don't do, don't tell your mom. Because Remus had just told him, if you tell their mom they're harassing you, she'll beat the fuck out
No, it
of
was,
them.
it's a little girl.
the
Yeah,
little girl
like
said-
that.
Oh, 'cause
It was
their
my
sister.
doggy, and I can do what I wanted with
That's
it,
what
and
it
I
was.
gave it to you, and that's final.
my mom will give them such a whooping. She'll put the H in the whooping.
Who's this?
And so
Whip it
Did I hear spankings? You know that? Maybe I
And
took
she
it
did
off.
because the CPA wasn't around back then.
yeah, we cut
She's a
to
method actor.
we cut to child abuse.
Yeah.
But sometimes kids deserve it. No, just kidding. These kids deserved it,
Yes, they did.
but they're fake kids, so it's okay.
I don't know. That fight kind of looks real.
They're drowning dogs, dude.
The fight wasn't in the script. They just shot it, and they were like, you know what, we're
Kind of
using
looks
it.
right. I'm like, yeah, pull that little shit tire.
Fuck yeah.
So then they go and tattle to his mom, and Johnny is banned from going and hearing any more stories from Uncle Remus because it's teaching him bad lessons, even though it
But
seems
she
good
doesn't
lessons
tell
to me.
This is
Johnny.
the equivalent
She
of-
tells Remus.
Yeah.
She tells Remus.
This
yeah.
is
She,
a
she
nowadays-
scolds Remus because that's her property.
Yeah.
This is the nowadays equivalent of no more tablet time, no more screen time, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, those YouTube videos are wrecking you.
No more stories from Uncle YouTube.
You can't
No.
watch Bluey anymore.
No more male father figure in your life.
But see, it doesn't
Period.
work as
This
well.
is gonna go well.
Doesn't work as well because you can't tell YouTube, don't show my kid any more videos.
Yeah. it's
Well,
like,
you could put parental locks on it, I guess.
Yeah.
They can get
and
around
YouTube's
that.
just like, hey,
Fair.
fuck off. I'm gonna teach your kid.
YouTube's like,
everything.
look, I'm not showing him anything he doesn't already know.
He said he was over
Alt-right
18.
white supremacy, anger at wokeness.
Uh-huh.
I don't know.
Star
other
Wars
things.
equals bad.
Yeah, Star Wars bad. I don't know. I don't know what's on YouTube. I don't YouTube.
Try not to.
Skibbity toilet.
Skibbity toilet.
You've never heard of that? Michael Bay's doing a movie of it.
What the? Of course he
Please
is.
go on.
Yeah, no, it's basically these heads that pop out of toilets and they're evil and they fight these humanoids, but they have camera and
Did you say hemorrhoids or humanoids?
humanoids? They're human.
The
They have
way-
human bodies, but cameras, speakers, and televisions as head, and they fight the heads in the toilets.
So this
What's
sounds like
more amazing than Vern's
one of your
description
movies.
is how normal he just said everything.
Yeah, this is YouTube. It's one of the most. There are hundreds of millions of views for each
So
of
if
these
you guys
videos.
are ever curious about why we don't have YouTube video content other than those couple episodes we did, because I can't be part of that world.
I am
No.
putting my fucking head in a toilet,
I'm
dude.
part of that world.
He Disney.
he
Yeah.
did.
Hey,
I witnessed it.
We're all here. We're all here to Disney together. So
Disney's.
oh, and she also tells him to get rid
Get
of
you canceled.
She also tells Remus to get rid of the dog because she told Johnny to get rid of the dog. So Johnny shows up with a bone because apparently dogs eat bones.
Mhm.
We all know that you're supposed to give dogs bones and they don't break into shards and stab them in the stomach.
Back then you did not.
Oh, beef bone's fine.
Yeah, it's the
I don't know,
bird
how long
bones.
was this one boiled?
Oh, this is raw.
It's pretty clean for being raw.
It's probably roasted at 450 for 30 minutes per
I
pound.
mean, did you see that oven?
It's roasted
dude.
over 14 logs.
I wanted this kitchen so bad, but like not as a slave, but just like as a fucking hipster cook.
in the wintertime only.
It would be amazing.
It's just a giant fireplace with a pot in it. It's great.
Well, there's
And the
yeah.
oven next to it.
and then a little prep table right in front, made out of brick. That's
Yeah,
not gonna be hard to clean.
You know where I'm not standing? In front of the raging fireplace while I'm cutting stuff.
Yeah, in the wintertime you might.
Nah, doesn't get cold enough here.
Well, it does.
moved to
it
Canada.
does. It does where it's filmed in Phoenix.
Right, not much better.
Damn it, Pumpkinville.
But so there's a birthday party happening for Johnny because it's his birthday. So he goes to get Jenny to go to the party.
He can cry if he wants to.
She's got this dress, and she's like, it's brand new. It was my mom's wedding dress. First of all, that's not brand new. Second of all, how old was your mom when she got married?
because it fits her quite
So
well.
It's
Well,
because
no, you can
it
tell
was-
there was definitely.
she cut all the material out of her wedding dress and made a dress for a little
Yeah,
girl.
Yes.
still.
I think this girl got married when she was 8.
No, she didn't start that late.
This is the 1800s. People just did that.
She's an old maid.
She probably got married at 13, and that's why the front was just cinched up about 5 inches.
Just a midlife
Yep.
crisis a year and a half later.
Right.
And the brothers follow them, make fun of them, shove her into the mud. Johnny attacks that little shit.
And
little
he's
stupid one.
pulling that boy's
Mhm.
He
hair.
came at him like a spider monkey.
Yeah, he's like,
He came at me like a spider monkey.
I'm all hopped up on Mountain Dew. Quit pushing your sister.
Back then, Mountain Dew was actually just alcohol, though.
probably it's
That's
moonshine.
what
It was-
the moonshiners
a-
called it.
Yeah, it was a nickname for moonshine.
Was it really Mountain
Oh.
Dew?
Yeah.
That makes
Yeah,
perfect
because
I didn't know
they
that.
made it in the mountains, and
Yeah.
it's the dew of my.
And it's
Huh.
dewy. Dewy.
It was the Southern and Scotch-Irish slang term for moonshine.
Huh.
It was referenced in an 1882 Irish folk song, "That Rare Old Mountain Dew."
Wow.
Oh, that
All
rare
right
old
then.
Mountain Dew. Every morning I'm through. I'm through with sobriety and society, and I need me Mountain Dew.
How'd
You've
you know
heard
it?
You've heard it 1,000 times, right?
Yeah, it was beautiful.
There's not a second verse.
But Uncle Remus comes in and saves this little kid from being beaten to death with a stick
Oh, yeah.
by older bear brother.
He was gonna take his head clean off.
Well,
Yeah,
that's what
this
Bora
kid-
Bear does.
This stick this kid picked up is not a "I'm whacking you to get you off my
No,
brother" stick.
it was
This is a
solid
murder stick.
3-inch
This is
thick
a murder stick. Is right, Derek.
This is a baseball bat that hasn't been carved.
Correct.
This summer, murder stick.
So he goes off with the kids, Remus does, and he tells them another story about laughing. I don't know. So the fox and the bear.
happens if you can't stop laughing?
The fox and the bear already have the rabbit in this story.
Oh yeah, find your laughing place.
They're gonna cook him over
Every
a
day
fire.
I try, baby.
And his idea is to just start laughing because they're fucking stupid.
Mm-hmm.
The fox in this case is not falling for it, but Bear is a fucking idiot.
And a unit. So he's going to get his way.
So he's like, "Show me where your laughing place is." And he's like, "I can't show you where my laughing place is when I'm all tied up like this."
Don't fall for it. He's trying to escape, get away even.
He wants to fool you because you're fucking stupid.
Wow, the amount of brains you don't have. Astonishing.
So they take him on a leash, basically. They leave the rope around his neck, and they're yanking on this thing. I'm like, dude, that rabbit's
Well,
neck is broken.
I hope they have a safe word.
The bear's also holding onto the fox's tail and yanking that too.
Yeah. But I mean, this fox yanking
Can
on
I go
this.
second?
This fox yanking on this fucking rope around this rabbit's neck. It's like, oops, killed him.
Oh, I
Oh,
did
stew.
kill him. Wow.
Time for stew, everybody.
Thank goodness for cartoon physics.
So he gets to his laughing place, which is a beehive that he makes the bear shove his head
And
into.
a bag of mushrooms.
And that's kind of the end of that story.
Yeah, they get bead and run off.
Yep.
They get beat on. I like it when I get beat on, you know what I'm saying?
Oh wait, did somebody say get beat on?
No, we're talking about something different, Sly. Nobody take your pants off and
Wait.
poop on him.
Somebody's talking about getting peed on.
Oh, no.
I love that you have to make your hands smaller when you do that.
You have to do the tiny hands.
This is what I do on video. Because like, when you do Steven Seagal, you have to squint your eyes, you know. And when you do Christian Slater, you gotta or Jack Nicholson, you got threw him off the goddamn bridge, man. There's all these little pantomimes you have to do for certain characters. Like if you're doing a certain British character, mock cocaine. All main character now.
So mom says, "That's it. Stay away from Johnny permanently, forever. Uncle Remus, you
Yeah.
piece of shit."
And she's like, I should have known. It's my fault. And he's like, oh, really?
Well,
Like,
he even
yeah,
says
it's
early-
my fault for thinking you could shut the fuck up for a second and stop telling
He
stories.
says earlier in the movie that she used to come to him and get these stories all the time.
Uh-huh.
So she knows the
And look
story.
what
Yeah.
happened. Her marriage is falling apart.
Oh.
Her husband's a damn fucking leftist.
Fucking liberal,
Fucking liberal, dude.
thinking black people are people.
That's the part that confused me because the dad was talking about all these stories that Uncle Remus will talk about. And I'm like, how does the dad fucking know? Are they brothers?
They got married at 12.
Yeah, they still had to live at home.
Is
They're
he
still
a-
children.
Couldn't own a home yet.
Was he one of the favors?
No, they wouldn't marry that low.
He
No,
was on,
yeah,
oh,
no.
the plantation across the
People
way.
don't want to ginger up their bloodlines often.
Look, his wedding gift to them was little fun stories about foxes and bears because they were still in elementary school.
Okay.
you know there's sperm banks that won't take red ginger semen?
Seriously?
Really?
Yeah, I keep mailing it to him and mailing it to him. No, that's a real story. It's a real thing, though. Like, I don't know if it still is, but there has been plenty of sperm banks that just didn't want ginger
We have enough,
babies.
is
Like,
what they're saying.
No, like, they want us gone,
No.
extinct. It's gonna happen. Where are we now?
So Uncle Remus is now packing up to leave because he's
Dude,
like,
packing up. You mean putting 3 shirts in a bag?
and a hat.
Right.
He's got an extra hat.
Wait, you put it in a hat?
He did put in a hat, and
Yeah,
I
he
thought
put it
for a
in a
hot
hat?
second he was about to take off his curtains and put them in there too. But he was closing them. But it's like he's
He had
packing up.
curtains.
Well, this
it's
house
a shirt.
is
It's a curtain. Doesn't matter.
it's a house all that he's only known.
He's packing up to leave because he can't tell stories to a little white boy anymore. So it's this little fucking shit kid's fault.
Well, but he knows that like I'm doing good, but this fucking kid is gonna keep getting into trouble.
Well, this
He
is
is
Well,
helping.
He was told to stay away, and you know that kid's going to keep coming to his house. That's the first thing
Exactly.
he does.
Tell
he
the
can't.
kid.
He can't.
Exactly. That's
He
the.
can't.
It's that classic movie thing where like the people don't tell the other people what's really going on, or TV thing where it's like if you just told them, this show would be 2 episodes, but you didn't tell them, so now we've got 22.
Classic Shakespearean misunderstanding. He used that a lot in his comedies. A lot.
But so he's packing up to leave. Johnny comes and finds out that he's leaving and sees him leaving in a cart. So he decides to run through. What we didn't mention earlier was this pasture
I didn't
where
think
they
it'd come
keep-
to anything
Me
when they
neither.
explained exactly what it was doing.
Yeah, there's a pasture where there's a bull, and they tried to take a shortcut through it earlier, and Toby told Johnny.
If I was a kid, I'd be more afraid of a pastor.
Not back then. They didn't talk.
He's coming to you with like a
No
bull.
one talks.
He decides to go through in his crushed red velvet suit.
Yes. So this bull will chase you if you go into its pasture. So Johnny runs through to catch Remus. The bull chases him and kills him. No, it doesn't kill him.
I
Well,
think it does.
It catches
It
him
hits
and knocks him down.
I think it injures him and he dies in bed.
Yeah.
Because his
So
dad ain't there.
so we're at the end of this movie.
Oh yeah, it's his birthday still, by the way.
Happy birthday. You're dead.
We're at the end of this movie, and
All
I'm-
of the plantation
we're
people
pretty
are singing
sure
outside.
that this kid died, and this is all a dream, right?
Yeah.
That's what makes the most sense. I mean,
yeah.
Yeah, so all of the black people gather outside the house to sing songs while the kid is inside trying to recuperate.
Dude, they're singing songs about tragic shit that happens, and they're like, we're going to have more faith in him. It's
Yeah.
like, God took this little
well,
kid.
it's that
We love
classic.
him.
It's that
Yep.
classic Job story, you know. Like, oh well, I have.
I've seen
God's-
Arrested Development.
God's testing, not that joke.
Oh, okay.
God's testing my faith. So like he gave me boils and he killed my children and he took my land, but it's okay because
God
I love
is
God.
good.
They did that on South Park, right?
Uh-huh.
Kyle's mom is telling him the story and he's like, what's the point of that story? That's a horrible story.
horrible.
Yeah, I don't know what you took from it, but I did not get that.
Yeah, so God's a sadist? Wait.
Oh,
Yeah.
Fucking
He's
Dommy
also very
God.
jealous.
My safe word is Methuselah.
But
so Temmie was the only one that was allowed in the house, right?
Toby.
Temmie.
Oh, Temmie.
Oh,
Toby
Toby
went in
also.
the house too.
Remus went in the house earlier because remember he
Nope,
got pie
only
from
through
her.
the kitchen.
But that's still the house.
But it's the
But he
servants.
doesn't
It's-
get to
it
go
was-
upstairs.
He went through the servants.
He was only
entrance.
upstairs when this kid was dying.
Yep.
No, that's what I mean. But
That's
I'm saying he
literally-
did go in the house. He
Yeah.
just didn't go upstairs.
Don't use the front door.
You see Johnny dying, and Grandma's like, "I have a great idea.
Let me
Let's
get-
allow a black person in our home."
Yep.
For the first time
Good
ever.
God, 18 whatever. Good God, 2019. This is still Georgia, so I'm sure it's not that different.
Do you know who the first African American male was to headline the Grand Ole Opry?
No, who?
Darius Rucker
Oh, damn.
Are you serious?
of Hootie and the Blowfish. If people
I
didn't
was like-
know,
Yeah, I knew
So
who
Was
he
he
was.
was he hooting or was he just?
he was
rucking?
Darius Rucker.
Oh, okay.
He's a country musician.
Yeah,
That's his
I
solo
know.
act.
So post Hootie and the
But
Blowfish.
isn't that crazy how long that took for a black African American for a black male lead?
That's
country
crazy.
I also
musician?
learned in some class in college that I took for dumb credit, like some elective. No bands. I don't remember when the first one was. It might have been the 70s. It might have been the 80s. You weren't allowed to have drums
If you played country music.
as a band in the
Ooh,
Grand Ole
yeah,
Opry.
that makes sense
because drums were black instruments.
Yeah,
What?
that makes it's because it's a
Because-
tribal-
Rhythm and beat.
It's a tribal thing to somebody that's scared of it.
Because white people don't have rhythm and they don't want these drums around proving it.
You tell it to Steve Martin and the Jerk.
Well, he was born a poor black child.
I mean,
Well,
he found his rhythm.
well, didn't Dave Grohl take most of his drum beats from like African American funk bands from the 70s and
I mean, Always.
Nirvana
probably,
songs?
that's-
No, he actually did say that in a.
Dope.
Look at Elvis.
I mean,
Oh yeah,
So Grandma allows Remus into the house, presumably because she's like, well, he's black, so he must be magic.
He is
well, it's
magic.
also because she knows her grandson's dead and she needs some of that consolation dick.
Oh no!
Satisfactory.
So he tells a story.
No, that is
I've got it.
Satisfactual.
Satisfactual.
He tells a story that brings Johnny back to life, and that's when he leaves. He
But he
says,
doesn't
things
even-
are looking mighty satisfactual.
Johnny doesn't even acknowledge Remus. Like, he is begging for Remus, begging for Uncle Remus. Uncle Remus comes up, and he's like, and then Johnny wakes up, and he goes, Daddy!
You're right. You're totally right.
And Remus is like,
Guess
What
I'm
the
done.
fuck, bro? No, actually, I'm your granddaddy. That's right. I've been fucking your grandma. Loving her on strong and whatnot.
things are looking mighty satisfactual, bro.
It's that second time, and he's like, mighty
Actually, starting to
satisfactual.
misunderstand. Your grandma said take the back entrance. I didn't know what she fucking meant, so I bent her over and I took her back entrance.
Oh no.
She liked
It
it.
was a misunderstanding, but hey, she was left standing.
Wow.
So then the movie ends with the kids dancing and singing. Uncle Remus is watching them.
It's Johnny, Ginny, and Toby.
Yeah,
They meet,
the
Bra-
good
they meet
kids.
Brer
The
Rabbit.
JGT.
the good kids, not those little shitbird
Yeah, those
kids.
little shitbirds.
Well, these kids are shitbirds too, but
No, I'm telling you, they died drowning each other.
Yeah.
so they
They
start
died the way they
seeing
lived.
Brer Rabbit
Yeah.
and the Bluebird,
And Remus is like, oh,
Remus
shit.
is seeing it and rubbing his
Yeah.
eyes like, "What the fuck? Are we all dead?"
It's the
I think
truth.
so.
It's factual. He looks all surprised.
Everything is satisfactory.
they got hit by the Spanish flu. It's it killed them.
I think
they-
it's that cornbread.
and they walk off into the sunset and their doom.
The mushroom bread.
Okay, real quick. Do you know about what actually what they think caused the Salem witch trials? There was a documentary about it where it's had something to do with something upstream that infected the water with hallucinogens akin to acid. Like think about
Mushrooms.
just think but I'm saying like think about being dosed with acid, not knowing it is what was happening to these people.
MK Ultra.
They think it was baked into all the bread, all the water they drank, and it was just drugs that did. That's what's happening here. That is what's happening. These guys all got dosed with something, and they're all
It's
seeing
the
the
pig
same
shit
fucking cartoons.
that's in the mill pond, and it's running
Oh.
right down into that.
Oh,
Oh,
that pond
remember
looks
that pond was
disgusting.
gross.
That
That
pond,
pond looks like-
disgusting.
Yeah.
And this is, for Tucson people, it
It-
looks like the water at golf and stuff. For anybody else, it looks like the water at any theme park you've been to,
Except
any mini
Disneyland.
golf.
It looked
yeah,
the color on top looked like coolant. It was like this bright green,
yeah.
just resting on top.
Betty White
Horrendous.
dangling her feet in there for a fucking movie called Lake Flaccid.
That's that
Right?
Technicolor, dude.
yeah, it was really popping. Pond Scum was popping on screen.
So I mean, I guess we could do a recommendation, even though you can't watch this unless you
No.
find one of these bootlegs.
Okay, so then we'll
but-
do this little caveat to it. If it was streamable,
Okay.
would you recommend it?
Well,
Guest first.
I mean, honestly, if you're curious about it and you're going into it, looking at it as a piece of history, yes, I do think it's actually worth watching.
I actually agree with you because I don't think we won't learn from our mistakes if they are erased from everybody's lives. I do agree with that. As long as you watch this knowing that this is not okay.
Yeah.
Like, but I mean, I grew up watching this and it's not terrible. Like the acting isn't terrible. The plot line is horrendous. I
What little
believe.
there is.
But this is what the first movie that we have done that was actually like an amazing hit or whatever.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, one of the first, besides Michael Bay.
It's gonna be Bay.
Fuck Bay.
Jack.
I don't recommend it. It's not because I agree with what you're saying. Like, you gotta learn from the past, yada yada. Not to yada yada that, but I just was bored, man. Like, it was not entertaining enough. It wasn't as racist as I thought it was gonna be.
We did have your
It's
caveats
still
too.
very problematic. I was so happy watching this that I was not at home alone watching it.
Yeah.
I would have fucking called him
I
and
thought
like,
you were gonna say
cancel.
I was so happy we started with a shot of tequila.
Oh, I was so happy we started for sure. I hope that doesn't show through the episode. But no, it felt long as fuck, man.
It did feel very
Hour and
long.
a half felt like 2 days.
You did mention it. You're like, how long is this movie? It feels like it's been 2 hours. It was an hour and 12.
After each cartoon scene, I was like, well, this is done, right? This is no. He has to get chased by a fucking bull.
I mean, at least that kid got hit by a bull.
Dude,
It
I
was
wish I would have
funny.
seen it. Give me a ragdoll little Jimmy.
Did we mention he almost made it to the fence?
Oh, yeah. He was very
He was
close.
right underneath that fence.
Very
too.
close.
I don't know. I'm gonna fall right on. I don't know.
I'm-
So I bought this movie on Blu-ray through a source online, the same place where I got my 4K Star Wars unadulterated by George Lucas's ego.
Ooh, man, those
Um,
are good too.
But I bought it for the purposes that Vern and Whitney were saying, like, this is a piece of history. It's something I was curious about. And if you're in that realm and you do think that that's something you'd be interested in if you're a film fan and that's something, watch it for that reason. But otherwise, I agree with Jack. It was so boring. The cartoons were great. I loved the cartoons, actually.
Yeah,
if they had been
I couldn't
fully
watch this. Fox is giving me anxiety.
This whole thing should have been a cartoon.
Well, if they had been fully fleshed out, like if it had been a feature-length cartoon, first of all, we could have probably avoided some of this, although the voices the cartoons are using aren't great.
Terrible, which is why we didn't do them.
Yeah, but we could have avoided some of those problems, but also I feel like there would have been more. It would have been more fun. It might have been too much at 97, but it wouldn't have been 97 if it was just a cartoon. It would have been whatever those were back then, 70 minutes.
Yeah.
Like Dumbo was only like close to 80.
Yeah, so
That's in and out.
So I don't know. I guess for historical purposes, yes. For entertainment purposes, no.
Yeah, I was
Correct.
bored, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was not fun to watch, really.
No.
It was fun with my friends.
Yeah.
Making fun of it was awesome.
Because if you ever seen So Dear to My Heart, which was actually Disney's personal favorite, also starring Bobby Driscoll, it's very similar. It's like just showing this life on this farm, but also telling these stories about this sheep in cartoon form. And it doesn't always mesh well together.
That'll
but
do,
it's
pig. Sorry.
Some of the reviews I saw.
No, not you. I wasn't telling you that'll do.
Oh.
She was a cartoon pig, even though he wasn't a cartoon.
Yeah.
You
You know, babe. That'll
Babe
do,
was
pig.
Babe, yeah.
He said sheep. And so I thought,
Wait,
that'll do, pig.
sheep. That sounds woolly good.
It does sound
Bah,
really good. But
Randy.
continue.
Well, we got to get out of here.
No, continue. I'm so sorry.
No, that was pretty much all I had to say.
I saw
I'm an asshole.
some reviews I read said that, like, basically people said kind of similar to what I did. They were like, this movie kind of sucked except for the animation because Disney is known for animation, but they want to do this live action, in hard quotes is how they wrote it. And like, and this, it's not capturing the Disney magic. It's like you have these magical fun moments and then you have this crap, but it's peppered in with songs. And it said a lot of good songs. Zippity Doodah is the one that stuck in my head.
Yeah,
What's the
that's
other
the
one?
most
How you
iconic.
doing? Or
How do you do?
How do you
Mighty
do?
pleasant greeting. How do you do? Say it when you're greeting. How do you do?
Keep on going.
Keep on.
I was
Pretty
not
good.
gonna
Sure as
stop
you're
that.
born.
Oh,
Sure
that
as you're
actually just
born.
reminded me of the most genuine laugh I had throughout this entire thing. It's when the mom was telling Ginny, the little girl, to have her manners, and so she says, "Was it nice to meet you?" And she does like a curtsy, but right after she like sells out Remus and Chani to the mom, she's like, "Remus was telling us stories and this and that, and then she's like walking away covered in mud. She just turns around, "Nice to meet you."
Nice to meet you. It was good. That was one laugh.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
that's what I said.
It was one.
But so that's it for this week and this entire month of
Yay, we're
Shitbird
done with
madness.
shitbirds.
Thank fucking God till next year.
Guess what? 11 more months.
So don't forget to check out our Patreon at patreon.com/worstpeople. You get a bonus episode every month. You get some other cool shit. This month's episode is E.T., the extraterrestrial.
We're going to work on a gif of me winking at you.
And by the way, in case anybody's forgot, don't come at me. Those episodes are our like mental health movies. They're good movies.
E.T.'s a good movie. Everyone knows. It's a safe space here.
Are we,
E.T. is good. We love it.
are we going to have guns or walkie-talkies?
I believe
Ooh.
guns on the copy I have. Steven Spielberg undid that shit.
I will bring whatever they don't have.
Okay.
Which you can get at patreon.com/worstpeople for only $3 a month.
Yeah. You get a fun letter from us saying like what else we watch other than the shit this guy makes us watch.
Well, and you get in the preview newsletter, you get everything that's coming up for the month. You get the episodes of Han Took Shots First early and ad free. Ad free.
Are you Max? What's his name?
Max Headroom.
Yeah.
Ad free. But I also have something fun to do at the end of this episode.
Oh, what is that?
So coming up in the month of September, we have a Friday the 13th.
You know what that means, Jack?
Halloween.
No. A Friday the 13th movie.
It seems so obvious.
Last year we started the tradition of covering Friday the 13th movies every Friday
And
the 13th.
we did Jason versus Carrie.
Yeah.
Friday
Number
the
7, The New Blood,
Yes, Friday the 13th.
Am I
part
coming
7.
to you?
which is my personal favorite.
If you're lucky,
Also
I
the
am.
first with Kane Hodder, by the way.
Yes.
Ooh.
Oh,
But-
you're passing.
Oh,
No, Vern's picking.
Oh,
Vern,
was I
no,
passing?
you're good.
No, you're
Go for it.
picking
pick
because
it.
you
Vern-
are.
that's
you're the
even better.
guest.
Yeah.
Vern is going to randomly choose a Blu-ray out of the bag, and this is the Friday the 13th movie we are covering in September.
Friday the 13th, Part 5, A New Beginning.
Oh snap! We're gonna
Nice.
have Feldman, right?
Yeah,
Yes,
Corey
he
Feldman.
does make a cameo in this after his first appearance
Yes,
before.
this is he
As
has
Tommy
a
Jarvis.
cameo because this is the alternate future
Well, it's on
Yeah.
record. We're doing 5.
Yep.
Is this still part of the continuity, or does 6 overwrite the continuity of 5 with Tommy Jarvis is bringing him back from a zombie?
How would I know that?
This is
I
the
don't
one
know
with
any of
D-
this.
What's his name? Doug?
Right,
Dave?
Roy?
I think this is
Roy.
how we check
Yes,
out.
Roy.
But so that's what we're gonna do next month for our extra bonus episode. You heard it here first. Our next week's episode will be a Dolph Lundgren movie.
Can I have Vern deliver the one line that made me want to watch this?
Yes.
Oh, yes. I come in peace, and you go in pieces, asshole.
Boom. That's comedy.
This movie is titled either Dark Angel or I Come in Peace.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So, you
I
do-
come in peace.
I knew
Dark
the alternate
Angel.
title.
Yeah.
Looking forward to it.
And so we of
Glad
course have to
somebody
thank
is.
we of course have to thank Evasion for our opening and closing music. Go check those guys out and support them too. I've been Derek.
I'm still Whitney.
I'm Brother Jack.
I'm Vern.
Zippity doodah, zippity fuck yourself.
Oh, I caught that right away, Pilgrim. Let me tell you something, brother. You don't pour whiskey around me without me smelling out like a
Did you
chicken.
just do Gary
like a
Busey
brother.
doing John Wayne? I got that right
Hey,
away,
hey,
Pilgrim.
Pilgrim, let me tell you something. I was fucking Genghis Khan. You don't know shit about shit.
Turns out everybody was fucking Genghis Khan.
Not consensual, by the way. I know a thing or two about consent. I've been sued for it.